thing that what we got going on here. People show up. Guard your privacy at all times, except for when it comes to government. Then give them all your information. Give them all your information. Blah, 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 blah. Yada, yada, yada. Ugh. Hey, little ye of little faith. Ye of little faith, I say. Ye of little faith. James Smith's out there. What's going on, man? Just cleaning stuff that you can't see, you know. Just cleaning stuff you can't see. That's about it. Wearing my Cubs hat. Wearing that. Dude. Man, this thing almost looks brand new. And that's just a little bit of this REM oil, dude. This thing is humming. Nice. Humming. Did anybody watch Gary's stuff last night? I kind of cut out of there because I had other stuff I had to do, but what can you can only do so much in a day, as they say. Cleaning this one because this is the one I'm gonna mess around with for the, I guess maybe the duration of the summer. But yeah. What is today? Wednesday? This usually would have been almost close to my normal time, wouldn't it? To do rants and raves. But yeah. Not so much. Not so much. I did find my laptop though. I found two actually. So we might be able to get something going here in the near future. But until then, I don't know what to say. Till I get a good jump on whatchamacallit, society here. Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. This will be the next one in the. Oh. Woods is on. Eh, it's alright, Woodsy. You gotta go sometimes, man. You gotta go sometime, man. It was a shame, too, because, like, when was it? Before the All-Star break, man, he had put out a statement. And I'll tell you how I know. Before the All-Star break, he put out a statement about how he wasn't at the ballpark for the first half, yada yada yada, and then you start seeing a lot of people wearing Cub stuff. And John Lester came out with a Ryan Sandberg jersey, and now it's coming out that basically everybody knew that this dude was going to pass away, and they kind of kept it under wraps, and everybody knew that it was his time, man, and it's sad. And a lot of people over there on TikTok and all that shit, dude, they're over there telling me Joe Morgan was better, Alomar was better. Yeah, I seen Ichiro got it. Did you see his speech? It was hilarious about the Marlins. He's like, I don't even know your team existed. It was a great speech, man. Go look at Ryan Sandberg's Hall of Fame induction speech, man. One of the best speeches I've ever seen in the Hall of Fame. For somebody going into the Hall of Fame. Yes, Jackson, I just started it. Yeah, we'll be on here for a little bit. A narrator? Nah, dog. I used to read a lot. This is what I'm reading now. This one, Eyewitness. Can you see it? It's backwards. It's probably backwards because I'm using my front face camera. But this one is the eyewitness history of World War II. A lot of cool books, man, that you can find. This set was given to me by a friend, but that's what I'm reading now. I'm a sucker for history. Would you rather watch a tree grow or a knee? I don't know, bro. I have no idea. It was the GOAT. Man, dude, everybody on other social media platforms, because I said he was the best second baseman ever, and they're like, no, stats, stats, stats. I'm like, you don't understand. Like, the people you just named, when they pass away, dude, they're not going to have, you're going to be like, oh, Roberto Alomar passed away today, and you'll never hear from it again. But boy, it won't be like that in Chicago, dude. It won't be like that. It just won't. The guy was 1 in a million, man. Yeah, you would, dude. It was hilarious, dude. Hilarious. You go, dude. Best hitter in baseball. I'll give him that. Best hit, most hits in the major leagues. Yeah, for sure. Would you rather watch a tree grow or a knee grow? Look at these guys using racist stuff. Hey, if you guys have to understand one thing, man, I don't put up with that, and I'll ban you right out of the chat, dude. Act accordingly. Act accordingly. You know what I'm saying? And I read it because I knew what it was doing. And I don't appreciate that shit. If you go look at my comment on the Yankee Marshall shit, I think racism is a fucking waste of time and a joke, dude. But yeah, I'm not afraid to say it, bro. I'm not afraid to say it. And you're not afraid to type it either. Your best bet, anti-fury fuckface, is to go away. That's what it is. I'm not in the mood today. Especially with the letter I got in the mail today. So, yeah, dude, this isn't the place for you if you're going to bring that shit, bro. It's just not going to work for you here. And I'm sure there's a lot of other spaces where you can blurt your racism and your bullshit that you have in your life, man. But it ain't going to be on this platform, and I won't give you a fucking another warning. Act accordingly. No, you can't even fucking joke, dude, because I'm tired of it. If you go look at what just happened in Cincinnati, yeah, I'm fucking tired of it, man. Fucking tired of it. Really fucking tired of it, dude. It's fatigue. It's fatigue. You know, that's the new term nowadays, is black fatigue and this. I'm person fatigued. I'm person fatigued, dude. I don't have the tolerance for it anymore, brother. I don't, dude. Act accordingly or act up somewhere else, but don't do it here, bro. None of your fucking business. That's what. How about that? I just wish people would act right, dude. I wish people in society would act right, dude. And that shit, that doesn't act right. And George will tell you, these guys with the wrenches, bro, these guys will tell you because they've been here before you. So, yeah, man. Dude, act accordingly or it's going to be bad. It's going to be a bad time for you. Look, I had one weird straggly round in there. One weird round. I don't know who made that one. What is that one? A SIG. This is a SIG round. Oh, God, is it going to go off by itself? There you go. Timed out. I told you. Fuck around and find out, dude. It's not... I'm going to tell you like I told this other guy. There's a famous YouTuber that once said, and I quote, "Nobody fucking asked you, go make your own fucking videos," end quote. And that was James Yeager. And I suggest if you want to do that shit, you can go off and do that. But take that advice, and that man's gone. And that was probably the best fucking advice that I've ever heard from that man. Yeah, I'm dumbass fatigue, Ozzy. Dude, I'm so tired of human beings, dude, at this point. They were talking about some mothership off in the distance, 400 trillion light years away. I'm like, I hope these motherfuckers show up, dude. And I can plead a case with these aliens and they just don't want to reap us of our natural resources, whatever we have left. But yeah, dude, I'm tired of it, dude. I'm tired of it. We'll never get by as a society the way fucking people act, dude. We just won't, and I'm tired of it, man. I lived through it in the gun counter, dude. Being called a fucking what the one guy called me a fucking neo-Nazi. Like, neo-Nazi, motherfucker, what the fuck are you talking about? I have no idea. I have no idea. It's just fatigue, people fatigue. That's why I turned down 2 other jobs behind a gun counter, because I just don't want to do it anymore. So that any rifle can hunt. Yeah, dude, did you see that? Yeah, did you see the expansion? I think it's 6 antlerless deer, but it's still 1 antler deer, and now you can use drones. Good call, Bass Boy. I should put that up on the community tab. I use my community tab exclusively because sometimes, like now, I'm in a house, so I have internet access, which is great. But yeah, there's a lot of rule changes for Indiana. I haven't made that video yet. Been dealing with personal issues in my life, man, and it just gets worse and worse and worse, dude. And sometimes I just shake my head, man. Sometimes I shake my head. But yeah, it's just fatigue, man. I got fatigue from people. I got a $99 shotty from PSA. It's okay. Does it work? Did you go out and put rounds through it? Dude, I was looking for my turkey rounds all this past spring, because it's the meat eater rounds. It's the, what is it, the 5, 6, 7-inch shot, and I could never find them. I go into my safe back in here, dude. Boom, there they are behind all my medals from the military, dude. My 2 that I have, and it's like, holy fucking shit. I hate personal issues. I do, Jesse. I do, man. I shake my head, man, sometimes, you know. And I pose this question to a lot of people today. Since when is it our responsibility to pay to live on this earth? Like, who gives these fuckers the right to say that we have to pay to live here? Like, fuck off, dude. Fuck off. Because those people aren't playing by the rules. 5.56 is for deer. Yeah, I seen that too. 223 and 5.56 are allowed, which is, I mean, I've seen people on YouTube or on other videos, and like when I went down to southern Indiana this past year, if you go the Midwest, what was it? The Midwest whatever show I went to this past year, a lot of people talked about that stuff. Look at Clover's been a member for 20 months, dude. Clover, you gotta get them Rhino cards out, dude. Get those Rhino. Start opening up them 80 packs, dude. Those 1980s packs, dude. Yeah. Get on that Clover Tack card shit, man. Start busting out your Rhino shit. I was thinking about selling. I have 2 autographs with Ryan Sandberg, man. And to tell you the truth, I only have a few cards from Rhino, and I don't have any from the 80s, because I used them as you put them in your spokes for your bike back in the day. One is autographed. Oh, you're sitting pretty, dude. Sit on that for a hot minute and let it go, dude. Buy yourself a nice sweet FUD gun, nice little shotgun or something, because that shit's gonna be flying off the shelves, dude. I already had somebody contact me for my Cub stuff that I put on Facebook. I had a bunch of Cub shit, and I put a bunch of it on Facebook, and now I got like 30 fucking messages, and I'm like, look on the bottom, it says sold. I sold all that shit, dude. I've sold most of my memorabilia from sports, all my Star Wars shit. I sold most of that shit. Sam of Anarchy's out there. I'm going to hunt with my AR-15, but that S-FAR and 308 might be a plan. Yeah, man, I would hunt with 308 over 5.56 all day long, I remember shooting that deer with that 308, boy. He didn't. I hit him and he fell, and that was it. He autographed all that time. He was a very nice like that. Yeah, dude. If you guys go look at my TikTok, Clover, you got TikTok. I tell you the story about Rhino. So, for guys that don't know about this shit, dude, like back in the day, I played a lot of baseball. Before I was doing gun stuff, I was playing baseball, and I was playing for a bunch of minor, like not even minor league teams. And after that didn't work out for me, I met Rhino at South Bend when it was first becoming the South Bend Cubs. And I put the pictures over on Facebook, and we had a great conversation about the Ryan Sandberg game. You can go find that on YouTube as well. And he told me to come back to the bus after the game, and we finished our conversation. That's a Hall of Famer in my opinion. Not what you see today in sports. Baseball will be on strike, if not this year, but the next year. And what sucks is Bryce Harper didn't help the matter by bitching at the commissioner the other day. I mean, you'll never see another player like Rhino, dude. He was, dude. You go look at what Andre Dawson just said about him. Go listen to the phone call that Sean Dunston just did. He was crying his eyes out, dude. And dude, I don't remember anybody crying their eyes out for Babe Ruth. I don't remember. Nah, dude. Not saying they didn't, but like, dude, he was another one, dude. That was a pretty okay guy from what we read about him. But when you actually live it and you actually find one of these guys that are actually like that, dude, yeah, man. Bass Boy, if you, I got some. I found 3 rounds. I only have 3 though. I found. Would you like Bangladesh? I don't know what that means. I don't. I would never step off this continent ever again, dude. Or get out of this country ever again, dude. Never. Griffey, he was super nice. Yeah, Griffey, I heard Griffey's a nice dude, man. I mean, again, it's like we'll never see these players again, dude. We'll never see players of those calibers ever again. I mean, maybe Rizzo will fit in that category because he did a lot, but I mean, they're few and far between, and a lot of these players nowadays are just money hungry dudes, man. And they're not like what it used to. It's like hunting. It's like you had your old generation of hunters, and now you have the new generation of hunters. RowCall. Ed's out there. Yeah, there's a lot of people out here tonight. You guys must be bored. Maybe I should bring my show back. The return of rants and raves. God, could you imagine that? Could you imagine that? The return of rants and raves. How's things with you, Ro? How's this place you're staying at? I'm here. I can stay here for the next 5 days. Pretty good. Pretty good. I'll take it. It's a roof over my head and it's hot as fuck outside and I have an air conditioner. The world needs rants and raves. Gary's out there. I'm sorry, Gary, I left your chat the other night, man. Running out of internet shit, dude. I just don't have the capability. Kings Pro Photo. How you doing? I'm thinking about changing the logo for the channel too, because the old logo has 219 on there. I will tell you guys this. Come December 4th, I will not be in this area again. So that's why I don't have 219 on there. It's because I won't be here. And I'll be out of this zip code. So maybe if I find my new spot, wherever that shall be, it'll be RowCall, whatever their area code is. Cal Raleigh, a.k.a. the Big Dubber, made a promo deal for Honey Bucket. Yeah. Dude, Cal Raleigh, dude, just out of nowhere. He was always a good player. I was so pissed in the baseball game on the PlayStation because I got drafted by the Cubs on that game, and then the Cubs ended up trading me the fuck away, and I went to Seattle, and I've been in Seattle ever since. I haven't played that game in so long now, but yeah, that's where I ended up, was Seattle, and they traded Cal Raleigh away, and I went into the controls of the video game and got him back and put him back on first base because I was like, no way, man. Because there wasn't any really great first baseman, man. And the computer drafting for players was horrible. They picked some of the shittiest players. Return of rants and raves would be cool. I miss hanging out with you guys there. I haven't been to a major since '94. Staying from SS Pawn, a Warrior shirt yesterday, and this guy stopped me and asked me where that pawn shop was, and I was like, well, it's in Nebraska. He's like, well, I live in South Dakota. And I was like, well, I don't think Stan has it anymore. Ian Morales, how you doing, bud? Please be cordial in those comments, man. I'm for real. We had to teach this one guy that wanted to be racist to not do that here. So just be cordial. If you have any comments or just be cordial with them. If you have any questions, put them down there. I'm sure the people in this chat have a lot more, especially Stan has a lot more knowledge than I do in firearms, especially when it comes to old schools. Again, you need to go to Wanamaker, man. You need to go to Wanamaker and start bringing up discussions, man. Oh, yeah, I do too. Hold on. Oh, I wore it the other day at the casino. Because I stayed a bunch of days at the casino. Hold on. Ouch. Who hangs up their t-shirts? Yeah. Right there. There it is, dude. Right there. Yeah, at this point I can't afford to go buy shit, so I'm not gonna throw it away. And just notice that this gun is broke. Just notice that. It's not a deal breaker, but this gun is old. Old, I say. Old. I clean the other one because that's the one I'm gonna carry. Did I miss anybody else's? I'm retired. Yeah. Ozzy's out there. Okay, I'm just looking. Kings Pro Photo. Do you do photos? Do me a solid and make me a new logo photo guy? I would appreciate it. Yeah, for sure. I would definitely appreciate it. Since that strike, I was done. My son played ball all the way through college, so I had plenty of games to go to. There you go. Sometimes those are the best games, dude. I went to IU one year because my brother went to school down there and watched an IU game. I can redo your logo if you want. Gary, we need to get together, brother. We need to get together. I'd like to change the logo, man, because I ain't going to be here long, and it will be a lot better if we change it. A lot of people are like, you don't do gun stuff anymore. I'm like, I do. It's just I don't have any more guns to show you, you know? It's not like that anymore, man. It's unfortunate, but it is. Yeah, dude, we can definitely work on that. I don't have no problem in working on a new logo, Gary, if you can help me out. Gary helped me out with the patches. I still can't find them patches, Gary. I don't know, dude. If you got a RowCall 219 patch, you better hold on to that motherfucker. That may be worth money one year. Redneck Walker in real life. I like it. I like that name. I've been watching, so I promised you guys this. We can talk about this. So I'm on season 5 of The Walking Dead, and I'm going to tell you, dude, some of the most frustrating gun handling things that I've ever seen in a movie or a series. There you go. You got a RowCall 219 patch? Hell yeah. Save it. Dude, I don't even have one. And it's my own channel. I don't even have one. Because I had 100 of them left. And then when we ended up moving, that shit just disappeared. I found the mailers because, like, if people didn't know, back in the day when we had Patreon, if you were a Patreon member, I would ship you shit out at the end of every month. Sometimes I'd be late. You guys know that. But I would ship you guys out. And if you became a member of that, or you became a channel member, you would get a free patch. And if you just wanted a patch, it was $5, which was back in the day. I don't know how much patches are nowadays, but that was dirt cheap, $5, because it was the molded ones, like the 3D molded patches. It's a real nice patch, dude. And Owl and Anchor did no Toxic Patch Company did those, and Gary hooked me up with them. So yeah, dude, I would have gave you one, bro. If you would have asked, I would have gave you one, dog. People don't know, like, a lot of these guys that watch my channel are from my area, dude. And like Jamie, if Jamie's still out there, I gave Jamie a patch. I stopped Jamie on the way out the door, dude, and drove up to him and was like, fuck, I wish I could afford one. I'll give you one. I ain't gonna let nobody. If I ever find them, dude, I'll give them away. It don't matter, dude. At this point, in this point in life, it don't matter. But yeah, dude, like, I people can't afford a whole lot of shit, dude. And $5 for a patch was fucking cheap. Like my Flintstone patch over there, some of them other patches, those were free. But if you look at them, in the cost of making them, holy moly, dude, very very expensive. You know what I'm saying? Oh, people are talking shit out there. I can't see that message. I'm on my phone, guys, so that's why I have a job at 15. Good job. Hell yeah. Work hard, man. Don't give up. Always try to improve yourself. Don't be like RowCall and be poor and homeless. I heard the voice somewhere. I can't remember. Are you a voice artist? No. No. I'm just a gun dude. You sent me a patch and some other stuff for following you from almost the beginning. Yeah, I'm not a stickler when it comes to patches, stickers. Like, what did I give away? Remember, I give away brand new ear protection. Like, the majority of shit that I would get from shows, I would fucking just give it away. I would just give it away. A straight scammer. I don't even know who you are, bro. That's the thing. I don't even know who you are. You were never on my list because I wrote down. I have a book. See, old name. I have a book, and it had a list of all the people that were on Patreon, all the people that were on this platform, and people that were over on Instagram. And you're not on there, dude. I've never seen you in my life. If somebody would click on that guy's profile, see when he made his profile, that'd give you a good clue, because the last few comments I've gotten from YouTube from my last post on the community tab, some of these guys made their shit like in 2025 of last month, and they just come over here and talk shit to talk shit. And dude, again, like Ozzy, I'm tired of dumbass people. Doesn't matter what race, color, or creed. Taurus PT 709, and then I cleaned my Glock here a few minutes ago. He's okay for a Hoosier. Thank Creed, September 7th of 2014. Been here for a while, so we would know you, because around 2014, well, I've been on YouTube. I think I started really like ramping up content in 2015, but I never made an account before 2015. I think I just go and, like, you can check in as a guest back in the day when I was looking shit up, how to fix something, or I broke something and I need to repair it, you know what I'm saying, or I didn't know how something worked. Mine was wins from some question contest. There you go. Gary's got the best contest around. I don't care. And Gary gives a lot of shit away. Like, Gary gives away more shit than I did on my giveaways, dude. If you go look at my last giveaway, that was a pretty good one. And I bought the majority of that shit with my own money before I got canned from work. But yeah, man, Gary gives out good stuff. Good stuff, man. Useful stuff. You got a safe or anything like that. And what's funny is, I just found like 100 rounds of 410, and I had an old guy crying about it, dude, about not being able to find 410. So I shot him a message and told him, if you buy a couple boxes from me, I'll give you a box for free. So I got to go meet him tomorrow. Never won on Gary's. I think I've won twice, maybe once, but I know I've won for sure because I got the Aegis gun care thing. And that's another thing. I think the Aegis gun care kit is with those patches, because I can't find that either. And it's not in the storage where all my shit is, well, what I have left. Yeah. He doesn't watch. Yeah, a lot of people have gone their own separate ways, man. You used the clean kit from Gary today? Yeah, no worries, man. Like, a lot of people have gone off and done their own things, which I ain't mad about it. Do what you gotta do, you know? It's only when people forget about you, man. That's what pisses me off. Like a lot of these big gun tuber guys were hanging out with us at Wanamaker or hanging out with us at shows and stuff, and then they blew up and they forgot who we were and who other people were, dude. And it was like, oh, fuck you, then. Yeah, dude, I don't see anyone. A real live row. Now there's something you didn't see. Fine Ape's out there. I met Fine Ape at Wanamaker. Um, and he's a real human. He's not a robot. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of things have changed throughout gun culture. And not only that, like, the crew, dude. Like, nobody's the way they were way back in the day. We've all gotten old. I turned 65 this year. I'll be 45 this year, so I'm pretty old. I'm getting there, anyways. Well, beep boop. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's not a robot. He's playing. He's playing games. But yeah, I mean, a lot of things aren't what they used to be. You know what I'm saying? A lot of things aren't what they used to be. And a lot of people have changed, man. There's some people where I've called them and they're like, "Nah, I can't help you." And they said some things, and I'm like, "Well, all right, you didn't have to be rude as fuck, but I guess okay, the relationship has ended." What's your favorite pew pew? Hard to, man. I don't know, man. I loved my 686 plus. I thought that was a fucking stunning gun, and it worked like a charm. But at this point, I would say I can't show you, but my CZ SPO1, my CZ75 SPO1 with threaded barrel, 9mm. I think that's my favorite gun. I shoot that gun the best uh, out of all my guns, but I just recently picked up that old school CZ75, that used one, and I shot that one really well too. I like CZ guns, man. I just shoot them well. They just fit my hands correctly. Not saying like your gun's trash or anybody else's gun. I just shoot that gun better, you know. But I like CZ firearms, man. They make great shotguns too. Pretty good shotguns. I remember seeing some of the shotguns that came through the shop, man, and they were pretty nice, man. Awful expensive, but pretty nice. Yeah, the whatever one I carry at the moment. Yeah, sometimes that happens. I'd say yeah, the CZ SPO1. For rifles, dude, I would say this the old standard Ruger 1022. That squirrel getter that I get, that I put that can on there. Fuck, man, that thing is a tack driver, dude. Tack driver. That's the best 22 that I've owned besides that Armscore youth model that I used to have. I gave that to my son. You know, my favorite means best. So Smith and Wesson Model 10 or 20-inch. I like my Model 19. I shot that one. I didn't shot it a lot, but I shot that one, and I shot that gun well, and that's a good gun. I just got my CZ75 PO1. Love it, dude. It's a fucking sweet ass gun, dude. Take care of it. Don't get rid of it. That's my shit hits the fan gun. I got a holster for my plate carrier and all that shit, dude. That's the gun I'm gonna take. Sweet. I don't own one. I'd like to try it, man. Try it if you're allowed to. I don't know. I have a Remington 22 LR that's a tack driver. Yeah, dude. Suppressed 22s do have a strong giggle factor. Yeah, go look at that one where when I first finally got the dead air mask one, dude. Best investment I ever did was getting a 22 can. The critters don't stand a chance. For rifles, mine is the 275 bolt action, 40. 1022 versus Marlin 60. Thoughts? I've never shot that Marlin 60 I picked up from Wanamaker. That one that you told me, you sent me the plunger for it. Remember, the guy was gonna charge me $120 and it didn't have the plunger to it. And I'm like, does it even have a firing pin? You know what I'm saying? It's like, fuck. But yeah, dude, I haven't shot that one yet. But I love that 1022, boy. I've been knocking critters out of trees ever since I first bought that gun. Even before I had a can on it, I was shooting critters with it, dude, and it was a tack driver. The MP full auto, yeah, dude. You sold that one, didn't you? Yeah. Hopefully one day we don't need tax stamps anymore. You know, I'm tired of tax stamps. I'm tired of all this bullshit that's going around, dude. It's so agonizing, dude. Like, just give it to us. It doesn't matter, dude. Criminals are criminals, and they're gonna do criminal things. People put up such a fuss about it, and then if you look at the guy from this latest one in New York, the dude had a Vegas CCW. Like, how did he get that? Did he drive here? Because he couldn't have flown here because those guns are all restricted in the state of New York, especially in the city. You can't have that shit in the city. Like, how the fuck did you get that there from Vegas? You drove all the way from Las Vegas and brought that gun with you to commit your crime? So what does that tell you? Yes. Yes, he drove from Vegas. Yeah, I kind of, after CNN said it was a white guy, I quit listening to shit. Like I said, how many times have I said this guy? Once high profile cases goes into the weeds, bro, it's over with. Look at that guy's comment. Oh. Thanks for handling that, guy. I wasn't paying attention. I'm over here cleaning shit. $200 we could use for buying ammo or a knife or something. Yeah, fuck yeah, dude. And ammo's not gonna get any cheaper, guys. It's just never going to get any cheaper. No, he wasn't white at all, dude. That's why I was like, is a white dude? And then I looked at the pictures. I'm like, oh, they're just creating division like they always do. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just wonder, dude. You wonder about these people, like all these people in the chat. Like, dude, I honestly think since watching The Walking Dead, I'm convinced we are living in The Walking Dead, but we still have rules right now. Because there's a bunch of idiots out there and they're walking around like mindless zombies. So, I mean, it's like, Jesus. That's what it feels like, dude. Man, I tell you what. It's just every once in a while, dude, you get these people that come in here and it's just they have nothing else to do in life. It's like, go outside and touch grass. I don't know. They kept on saying it was an M4. And I'm thinking if he had an M4, it'd be full auto. If he had an M4. Well, he had an AR-15 that had characteristics. That's it. It's not an M4, dude. I don't know where their logic is, but again, it is the liberals, and they have little to no logic as is anyway, so. You know, nowadays a lot of conservatives aren't making any kind of sense either. At all, dude. At all. You know, I just watched a video of that guy. He's one of those Trump supporters, and he's talking about how Biden failed to do something with Epstein, blah, blah, blah. And it was the year fucking Trump was president. It was like, dude, Biden wasn't even in office, bro. It was Trump that did it. And then when the anchor fucking corrected him, he's like, well, I'm like, yeah, you got caught up, bro. You got caught up in your lies, your own lies. Liars always do that. Always get cut off in their own lies. Yeah, it was an M4. It's like, I don't think it was an M4. And I saw the pictures of it, dude. Like, it's an AR-15. I mean, they didn't show the side, of course, that has the selector on it, so you can't really fucking tell if it was a real M4 or the dude just put shit on a AR. Like, you can change the clamshells on a basic AR, put Magpul furniture on it, dude, that looks like it would go on an M4 and the liberal media would run with it. Diddy's biggest fan. Oh, sorry, bro. Bow. You'll never be able to come back now for 24 hours, dude. Nope, I'm not going to play that game. Had a suppressor and it didn't. I didn't see that, dude. No, it didn't have. The pictures I seen, the first picture where he's walking kind of looked like it had a can on it, and that's why I was looking at. But I was like, and then they showed a picture. I was like, it doesn't have a can on it, unless they took it off. I don't know, dude. But A can, dude, is way easy to track. Like a lot of people don't understand, dude. When you get a suppressor, way easier to track. Most people react either not at all or positive to that comment. Engaging positively for 3 seconds warrants a like, in my opinion. Rip a fat one and I'll super chat. I doubt he could afford an M4. Dude, I can't. It didn't have a can at all. Yeah, see, man, like I said, when this stuff goes into social media like that and the reports, dude, that shit gets lost in the weeds and people start making up shit. You know what I'm saying? People start making up a bunch of fucking nonsense. And didn't that dude that is running for mayor said this is when you send in social workers when people are distraught like this? I'm like, fuck, I wouldn't want to be. That's more deadlier than my line of working behind a gun counter. I found a box of 45 ACP, but I don't have a 45 ACP gun. Well, you know how to remedy that, don't you? 1907 Winchester. No, at the, what was it? The NRA show in 2000. Let me look on my safe. What year was that? 2019. I did see a reproduction of the 1907 that they recently made. I think that might be on my shorts list if you want to go look at that gun, but a real one, no. I've seen reproductions. I seen one at the J.M. Davis Museum in Oklahoma, but I've never shot one. I've held a reproduction and seen the real gun, but I've never shot one. Some dumb people make me scratch my head and it gets sore after a while. Quit scratching it, dude, because you'll go bald. There's nothing you can do, man. Save your hair. I kind of have to buy. My buddy is selling one. Cool. Don't go cheap. Tell your buddy not to go cheap. Dude, I was watching this guy that walked through a gun show for military surplus. You should see the prices on the shit. For like a Bubba-fied Springfield, I think the guy wanted like $2,000. And when I mean Bubba-fied, bro, I look at that guy and be like, here, I'll give you $100 to try and save. It was like when that one guy that was Matt's friend that fucked up that one he had. This one was worse than that. $2,000. I'm like, no way, dude. No way. In the picture, that looks like a can. It was the sling hanging down. There you go. That's why. Honda. Yeah, that was that guy's name. I don't pay attention to that guy either. 511 unique round. It's asking 150. 150 corn cobs because we can't discuss certain things on here, John. I'm sorry. It's just the way YouTube is. So be careful. I get what you're saying, and I appreciate it, but fuck, we'll get pinched by YouTube if we start talking about shit like that. That's what was so stupid. I remember they were giving us strikes when we pull up like places that had sales on stuff, and they were like, "Oh, we're gonna ban your channel because you're selling and you're showing prices of stuff." 150 corn cobs is a good way. It's an antique. Yeah, I would call it that. Safe Queen is more than what I would call it, especially if it's in good shape. Like the one I saw at the J.M. Davis Museum was pretty nice. You can tell there's a little bit of pitting on it, but for all in all, dude, I would love to own it. Might Glock 21, huh? You better hurry up. They're not making those anymore. All those Glocks are all going to go away. Bye-bye. I think they're only going to keep like 48. You should do it, man. It's a good gun, dude. I had a choice between the 43X, the 48, and the Glock 26. And the only reason why I bought the Glock 26 is because I could interchange the mag. It's just a frame change. There's just nothing like that. Glock done that. Nothing like that. Glock done that. Yeah, dude. Find them better guns than Glocks out there. How will the hunt for large shell Velveeta going? Dude, I haven't been in a grocery store since my trip to Tennessee. Well, from my trip from Tennessee in about a month or 2 months ago, I walked into a Walmart. It might have been a Myers, but I think it might have been a Walmart to get my hunting license. That was the only time, and I never went there. And my hunting license. That was the only time, and I never went there. And my buddy bought me a good supply of Velveeta cheese. My buddy bought me a good supply of Velveeta cheese, and then Squibload sent me another box of them, so I had them for. And yeah, I'm losing connection, guys. My internet's not great, bro. And yeah, I'm losing connection, guys. My internet's not great, bro. My internet's not great. Yeah, my venison supply is doing fast. I think I got a couple more squirrels left. I made a real good squirrel dish a couple months ago. And I ate a couple for this past Thanksgiving, last year, 2024 Thanksgiving. I made a couple of squirrels. When I shot down in Tennessee, that cost me, it was $65 for a small game license that included birds down there. And that squirrel cost me $65 because it's the only thing we shot down there. And when I shot him, he fell down this ridge. And I'm telling you, drop off of that ridge there, when you get into those Tennessee hollers, you better be careful. But I wasn't going to let him go. So I ended up eating him for Thanksgiving. And it was good. Good squirrel. If you guys haven't tried it, dude, you're missing out, dude. It's the chicken of the woods, man. And not the mushrooms. Saw Glock is coming out with the new Gen 6 modular like SIG. Mark my word, the Gen 6 will be the new military sidearm. I don't doubt it after what SIG's going through. Dude, it's, I don't know what that company's going to do. I guess they just released a statement now saying it's people's fault for shooting themselves. It's not the company. So how that's going to hold up in court, I don't know. And with what the Wyoming guy that was on Yankees chat, I guess he did one today. I listened to a small portion of it. But I watched that guy's video, dude. I mean, a millimeter of pushing the trigger back makes that gun go off. Like right after you hit the wall. Like, come on, man. That's, I don't know. Yeah, I guess they lost again today, dude. I mean, they don't have pitching. I've been saying that since the beginning of the year. You know, especially when they couldn't sign Tucker to the extension, dude. Really pissed me off. But they said they signed Jed Hoyer to his extension. Yeah, man, their pitching is horrible, and they won't make it if they don't get pitching. And going to all these baseball games in South Bend and watching what they have down in the minor leagues, dude, they're close to 2 years away, maybe even 3, of getting some in the. And that's if these guys hold up and they don't just suck. So, I mean, Cade Horton, I watched him pitch twice. I watched Jackson Wiggins pitch a bunch of times. He's got a lot to learn. Ben Brown needs another pitch, bro. He's not going to survive. I would trade Matt Shaw and Ben Brown right now and maybe throw in another prospect. Do not trade Owen Casey. When Owen Casey comes up, guys, it's going to be amazing if he stays on the path that he's taking now, dude. I'm a huge Cub. Yeah. Rhino, dude. Rhino is a good guy, dude. And this one guy tried to make a point, like, yeah, Roberto Alomar was better, but it's 0-1 because Roberto Alomar was an absolute steroid-injected douchebag that spit on umpires, dude. And last time I checked, Ryan Sandberg didn't do that. So, I mean, I think there's more to it than just stats. I think a lot of people get caught up on stats a lot. But when you look at a guy for integrity of the game and the way he played it, dude, there's no other. I mean, there probably is a couple of guys, but I mean, looking at what his old teammates have never said anything. He never went around like these guys and bitched and complained about money. He never went off and cheated on his wife, as far as we know, and did all these weird things that all these other guys are doing. Like, dude, he was a stand-up dude. I'll show that. So they told you couldn't have that? Show that. Cause I'll just read it. Fuck them, dude. Why are they holding that I don't believe the P320 is issued. No fuck. Oh, because it says fuck talking. Yeah, don't cuss in the comments, dude. They'll hold your shit for a review. Why? And don't do that when you look at my videos, too, for all the new people that just pop up, dude. Because it goes into this folder, and I have barely enough time to check it. So if your comment gets held for review and you're like, that guy's an asshole, it's because I didn't check that little folder and then went through your comment to approve it. They have to be pulling the trigger and blaming the gun. I don't know, dude. I owned one SIG P320 in my life. I traded it for my SIG P365 because my buddy said his wife didn't like the Glock 42. So I traded him that. I like my SIG 365, but it wasn't a deal breaker, and I traded a SIG that was on a Wilson combat frame because I did not like SIG frames. SIG firearms did not sell well at the shop at all. Even the SIG crosses, like I know a couple guys who have bought SIG crosses, nothing but trouble on them. This one guy even bought a whole new barrel and threw it on there. SIG likes to make their customers guinea pigs, dude, and I think that's the worst model to have for a gun business, dude, is to make your customers the guinea pig for that stuff, and they're learning their lesson quite harshly right now. How are the Cubs with 62 wins and only second place? Because Milwaukee holds the tiebreaker. Dude, this was a huge series for the Cubs, dude. So, like, even if it comes down to the middle of the year, dude, the Cubs and Brewers are in the playoffs, dude. The Brewers will have home field advantage. And it'll be soft, dude. It'll be... Do I drink the wine of violence? Back in 2002, I did, or 2003, when I was served in the military. Especially a pistol. If I'm carrying a pistol, I better have the most reliable gun. I don't blame you, dude. Like, my brother, I remember when my brother, when shit started to really get kind of weird towards the beginning of the COVID, I call it the Coco he bought a gun, and I don't think he shot that gun ever again after I took him out to the range and did it. And it's like, dude, there's no way you would ever catch me doing that. Like, I don't care what anybody says. People always told me I'm bullshit, but I think shooting is a perishable skill, especially when your body starts failing you, like your eyes, your hands, so on and so forth, dude. I mean, if you can do it now and you can do it efficiently, you should continue to do it until you're not able to do it. Just like what we were talking about, baseball. Ryan Sandberg retired in 1997. His last hit was a base hit. I mean, you know when your time is your time and you can't do it anymore. Like, I knew when my time was my time playing baseball, especially after the first time I tore my rotator cuff. After I tore my knee, I knew it was time to hang up my cleats, man. I knew it was. So shooting, to me, I believe is a perishable skill, and you should do it as many times as you have on this earth allows you to do it. You know what I'm saying? You should do it. And you should practice. And you should teach other people. Not only that, especially if you have kids, man. A lot of people get really rambunctious when it comes to children and firearms. But, I mean, it is what it is. But I get it. But shooting's a perishable skill. And I'll tell you right now, I would go home when we remember the bad internet place? I would go home and I would buy, like 150 rounds of 9mm, and that would be gone. I'd buy 1,000 rounds of 22, that would be gone. And some people be like, damn, you never shot that much. I'd be like, yeah, I worked at a gun shop, dude. I was getting discounts. Like, when you guys were overpaying for coof prices during COVID. No, I wasn't, dude. I wasn't. I was getting a discount. I was just using my discount. When I lived at that place, the other place that I was at, that house that we bought, that we lost, fuck, dude. I would come home. I wouldn't come in until dinner time and would shoot and shoot and shoot. The cops would show up to my house and they quit showing up because they knew there was nothing they could do. As long as I had the proper stuff, the proper backstop, they didn't give a shit. And I even showed the cop what I was shooting. And one day he come out there when I got my suppressor, because all you hear was the tinging, and this lady down the road was so anti-gun. I let him shoot it. And he was amazed. He's like, I'm going to go buy one. And I came to the gun counter one day with him and his family, and he said he bought a Dead Air Mask HD, and he bought it because it was awesome. It was an awesome can. Uh, could probably still destroy me in baseball. Fuck no, I couldn't, dude. No way. I don't even know the rules like that. I agree. If you're gonna have kids in the house, you don't want their first time training on the platform to be finding it when you're not home. Oh, 100%. Lock your shit up, dude. If people lock their shit up more, we wouldn't have those questions about safe storage laws. That all this stuff would go away if people would be responsible. But it becomes the problem when people don't want to learn about the education of firearms, and it leads to that disaster. And then everybody says it's bad when it's not really bad. It's just those people were never educated in it. They were never educated. They never took those steps. Like when my son first came in there and bought a gun he bought it from my place when I worked there. I told him, lock that shit up, dude. Lock that shit. Are cans legal in Illinois? I don't know. Ozzy, if Ozzy's still in the chat, Ozzy lives in Illinois. So Ozzy, you guys can have suppressors, can't you? Or is that a no-go in your state? I'm not sure. I live 60 miles from there, but I stay out of that place as much as possible. Before I go to the Army National Guard, huh? Fuck, good luck, dude. National Guard's not bad. The only problem, my buddy Chris was in the National Guard, and when I came back, he went to Iraq. And when he went there, dude, they were the first boots on the ground was the National Guard. And that changed that man's life forever. And I played football with that guy. I grew up with him. I ran the neighborhood, hung out together. And he's kind of not the same person anymore. So just keep that in mind. Cans are not legal in Illinois. There you go. See, if you got a question, there's a lot more people that may know the answer before I do. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I figured cans weren't legal in Illinois unless you're a cop or some kind of law enforcement or government official. Illinois, there's not a whole lot you can do, but I mean, hope and pray that Pritzker loses and they put somebody up that can beat him, and then start the changing of the course of gun laws in Illinois. Because Ozzy, isn't there new gun laws that just passed? I think people that aren't like really violent felons have to go through a process and they can get their rights back to get a gun, which I think if you're out of jail and you're not behind bars, you should automatically have all your rights restored, whether it's voting or owning firearms. Dude, you paid your debt to society. If you're so violent, then you shouldn't be out of jail. That's how I look at it. Is there any states cans aren't NFA? No. Texas. I think Texas is, but you can't take it out of the state. I think Texas is like that. But you just can't take that shit. Fuck Cali, New York. For gun owners, it's a shit show, yeah. Bro, think about it. Free college tuition, that's saving you like $90K, free medical bills, store discounts. I mean, I'm good on that. I went through that path, dude, and it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. And when you step feet on a foreign country where nobody fucking likes you and everybody's got a gun pointed at you at some point in time, other than going outside the wire, it becomes a reality. It's not like LA or New York. Dude, these people have no sky. If you're a non-violent felon, you can get it after like 5 years. But in my opinion, if you're non-violent or drug addicted, not getting help, you shouldn't be banned from guns or felony in the first place. Yeah, there's a lot of new laws that went into effect. Pritzker signed that one. New storage law passed. Yeah, that was it. That was the other one. That was signed yesterday. So like if your gun goes missing and you don't report it within like the first 24 hours, dude, you can be held criminally liable for it. So keep that in mind if you're in Illinois, dude. Safe storage laws. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, all that, dude. Gun laws are a lot harder to get off the books than they are from preventing them from getting on there. So if you can prevent them from getting on there, you're doing fabulous, because once they're on there, dude, we've had a red flag law in the state of Indiana for over 20 years at this point. So, I mean, and I've talked to congressmen, I've talked to Mike Braun, because I'm in Indiana, I've talked to all these guys, and they're like, it's going to be horrible to try and get that law off the book. That's why they haven't done it. Cali gun laws and knife laws are terrible, bro. Don't move to California if you're hitting not. I have 34 guns in my house. Yeah, dude. California is a mess. You see Gavin Newsom, all that money coming up missing, and now the firefighters are suing Gavin Newsom for the disappearance of about like $100 million, dude, from a fire that happened. And now all those people are being told that they can't rebuild their houses. And I think that was because they were going to do the railway thing, but Trump derailed that. No pun intended, maybe. But yeah, dude, California's a horrible place to live. Beautiful place, but I would never go there. I've never been there. The closest I've gone to the West Coast is I flew out to Vegas to play in a poker tournament and flew home 2 days later. And I was beat. I had Jack 10, and the dude had pocket 7s and flipped a set. And that was the end of my day there. I used to live in New York. I moved to Kentucky. The first thing I did after getting my ID was buy a Glock 45 and an AR-15. There you go. There you go. Mm-hmm. For sure, dude. I will never live on the West Coast, and I will never live on the East Coast until things change. Like, my permit, I'm a lifetime permit holder. It's not good in Texas or in California. It's not good in Illinois. It's not good in Nevada. It's not good in New Jersey. It's not good in New York. It's not good in, I think it's South Carolina. It's not good in one of the Dakotas. Like, that's crazy. That's wild for me, dude. And all because here in the state of Indiana, we don't require training for permit. And that's a lot of the a permit. But they've been fighting the Illinois permit law for quite some time. You know what I'm saying? How come to basic? Been through Indiana once, stopped at a Wendy's. Yeah. I mean, Indiana's not horrible. It's just things can change, and they can change for the better when it comes to a lot of things, and they just don't do it. You know, they'll dangle it on the string for you for a while, but then they pull it back. Just like how they did constitutional carry here, dude. They fucking ring around the rosy for that forever, or you sign it in the law because there's no more. They took every avenue not to do it. Offering people free permits, blah, blah, blah. But you still had to pay money to your local municipality to have it. So you're really still losing money at that time. You were being taxed on your right. You know what I'm saying? I'm in Virginia, and all you hear here is politics and religion. Constitutional carry is such a win. It is, dude. It is. But again, here in Indiana, you can buy a handgun at the age of 18, but you can carry it. And you can get a permit to carry it. See what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of things that still need work in the state of Indiana. That's why I said it's okay, but boy, dude, we still got to put our nose to the grindstone, and nobody wants to do it. Everybody wants this NFA shit in this bill and stuff, and I'm like, we got to pay attention to our own state first so it doesn't get out of hand. Woodsy says, I bought a Taurus 856 carrying 2 guns while filing out a 4470, so I need to wait 10 business days. There you go. With air and when the gunpowder does not all the way through the barrel, it starts to smell like shit after 5 minutes for Glock 45. Yeah. I gotta clean my suppressor. I gotta get my gun ready for squirrel season. That's around the corner. I think that starts August 15th, if I'm not mistaken. As long as it's not really fucking nasty hot. I might go out in the mornings, especially I always go on opening day. Even if I don't get anything, I still go to participate in opening day. But I got to clean that gun really thoroughly. I had a lot of problems with it a year or two ago, where it wasn't ejecting the casing, and that's when I had to call Clover, if he's still out there, and ask him a bunch of questions. You know what I'm saying? I love that smell. It smells like my spicy M93s. And again, dude, it's just you gotta keep up on it. That's why I'm sitting here clean. Like I don't normally carry those guns a whole lot, but I'm gonna be carrying this 43. That's gonna be the rest of the way for the summer. It's just easier to carry than a full size. And then when winter hits and I'm really sitting in the tree stand doing things, I'll carry a full size gun on me. It's probably be my CZ P10C because it's got a light on it, and I can take it, you know, during the morning hours when it's still dark and use the flashlight on it to get to my tree stand. Ran into some coyotes the last few years, man. And one time I had a back full of squirrels, dude. And they were bleeding and all that jazz. And the hooting and hollering started. And they tried to corner me up and let a shot ring out. And that was the end of those guys. They ran away. But, I mean, you know, I always carry a gun with me into the woods no matter what. Yeah, most definitely, dude. And doing what we're doing here now, dude, it was what was it? This past weekend we hit like 90, 95, 96, but it felt like 103. And if you live out west and you probably don't have humidity like we do here, it makes it all the more miserable. The humidity here is I'd rather have it be 103 with no humidity than have it be 103 and even 95 with a shitload of humidity. It sucks, dude. It's garbage. It makes it tough to hunt. Sweating, looking in your scope, wiping your brow all the time because you're sweating bullets. You know what I'm saying? No pun intended. But yeah, man, it's a trip. Went out that one year. If you go look at that, I think it's on the channel. The first day of squirrel season, I shot that foxy or that little what do you call it, pine squirrel out of there. And boy, it was so foggy. Shit, it was hard to see, man. It was hard to see because everything was, you know, all the dew was rising off, dude, and burning off. And looking in a scope and looking up in a tree about, you know, 40 foot up is a pain in the ass when everything looks like fog. You know what I'm saying? It's a pain. And it sucks the way we can't handle guns because I could show you that gun. Magazines cannot hold over 10 rounds. Suppressors or mod suppressors are not legal. Carry is illegal. No round after a 338 Lapua is legal. If a gun is not in, it's illegal. Dude, I can live there. I don't know, dude. It's hard to tell people to just get up and move because you just can't do that. But I mean, I just don't see hope for those states. I just don't see hope for them. I wish, but I just don't see hope. I think there's too many of the anti-gun mind thinkers there, dude, and it's just too big of a hurdle to overcome. I mean, look at people that live in Washington State and Oregon, like G23. He lives up in those necks into the woods, dude, and it's a pain in the ass, dude. It's a pain in the ass to live there. Cooler on Thursday? I hope so, brother. I'm tired of the fucking heat. I'm ready for either the first snowfall or the first really good fall day, dude. I'm talking 63, slight breeze out of the north, shit like that, dude. Ugh. The heat, I used to love it when I was a kid, man, but I ain't a kid no more. It's true. Don't get old. If you're young out there in the chat, don't get old. It gets worse. Toleration starts to climb, or you don't tolerate shit anymore. What you bringing or you renting? The place by me has full autos, can rent. You just pay the ammo. I'm still yet to try. Do it. You'll never. You should put it on your bucket list. You'll never be disappointed shooting a full auto. Bought a Taurus GX2. Those are decent guns. Those were bigger sellers than the what was it? The G3s. were the G3C. Like, the top selling guns at the gun counter when I worked there was Glock, Ruger rifles like 1022s, and like really budgety guns, dude, like Taurus. But what the problem having a gun counter and having, like, we had every fucking Taurus gun almost imaginable, even the new stuff that came out just a few years ago. There were so many people trying to straw purchase those guns because they were like $250, and a criminal, a drug dealer, and a shitbag can come up with $250 in no time. You know what I'm saying? And that was the one thing. Like, if you go to some of the places like Valpo, like Mac from the Military Arms Channel, his shop, Copper Custom, Armory 219, these places like that, dude, there's not a gob of fucking Tauruses there, dude. It's high-end shit. Talking like $1,000 guns, $800 guns, and that's a lot harder to acquire for criminals than it is a $250 Taurus. How popular is the M&P for accessibility features? Thinking about getting my mom one because she can't rack my Glock reliably. I would tell her, get an EZ. EZs are good. I would get her the 380 EZ, unfortunately, because I don't see, there's not a huge difference in the EZ9. I think the EZ9 is a little bit harder to pull back, the ones that I messed with back in the day, than the 380, because the 380 was designed, that 380 EZ was designed for that purpose. People with arthritis and older folks. That's what I would look at. You know, and plus that gun's got a little bit of real estate on it. It's not like shooting an LCP. Like, what I used to tell people at the gun counter is the smaller the gun, the more recoil you're gonna you know, observe out of the firearm than shooting a metal frame gun like my CZ. Like my CZ, my 43 has more kick than my CZ, because my CZ firearms, except for the polymer ones, dude, are all metal. Jesus loves you. I love the Jeebus. I love that dude, man. Who wouldn't want to hang out with fucking Jeebus, dude? Like, especially if you ran out of booze at a party. Like, if you were having a kegger on the beach and Jesus showed up and you hit the fucking tap and that fucker started spitting, I'd look at the old Jeebus and be like, hey, help a brother out. 38 special? I carry a 38 special when I go on my walks. I left it at this other place that stores all my really good shit. Because here I have limited shit. I have a couple of carry guns and then my hunting shit. That's all I have here. I don't have all my good shit here. I don't leave my good shit here in town. 250, 1,500 beans. A smart drug dealer can make that within that in 5 minutes. The only thing is that then they got to put that person. They have to find that person that doesn't have a felony. That's the next big thing, is the felony. Because most of these guys are all felons anyway. Because I had a girl come up one day, walk up to the counter, type on her phone. She was in PJs. She was in her slippers. Like, I don't know what they were, what kind of slippers they were. And she just walked up the counter, said, I want this one, tapped on her phone. And I told people, hey, go out there and see what car. And there was 2 dudes waiting in the car for her. So, yeah, dude. No such thing as a smart drug dealer. Yeah, and they didn't get a gun that day either. And they tried to come in like 3 other days, try to buy Draco. They tried to do everything they could. Finally, we just sat them down and said, look, you're never going to be able to buy a gun here. We're going to put you in the files for the rest of the company to understand that you're not allowed to buy a gun here ever. You know what I'm saying? Like, they would send the stupidest motherfuckers in that shop to try and straw a gun. And it was obvious. So obvious. I don't know. Dude, I don't have enough fingers and toes to tell you how many straw purchases I stopped for those people. And it was a fucking nightmare. And we told them to quit buying cheap shit. People I see using them in gore clips in South America, they usually just provide some cheapo gun, I think. Talking to Sam. MCK's out there. Did I miss anybody else, dude? Generic ordinary name. We've been talking for a while. Lewis Gardner's out there. Go Cubs, love the hat. Yeah, this is the Arizona one. This is the spring training from what, 2017. And it's very cool too because it's got that weird material on it. And this one has my name embroidered on the back of it. When I bought the hat, they gave me 50% off an embroidering. And the guy's like, "That's all you want on there?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's all I need on there. That way, somebody steals my fucking hat, I'll know who fucking stole it, because there's not many people with my last name around here anymore." So, I mean, kind of easy to spot and identify if your hat comes up stolen. Because I remember back in the day, for my baseball gloves, I used to write my name in there, like in a spot where it wouldn't wear off quickly. And one year I went to this place. It was a sporting goods store. It doesn't exist anymore. And I had bought a brand new Rawlings mitt, dude, like one Ryan Sandberg had. And I had it in my bag, and we were practicing one day. And I helped close everything up, put all the batting cage shit away. Went back to my bag, got home, unloaded my bag, and my glove was missing, and someone stole it. And it was like a $180 glove. That was back in the day. The worst handgun is a high point. I don't know, dude. I was shooting a high point back in the day, and I watched a guy. No, don't ever quit. Why would you quit? Why would you quit your YouTube career? It's not a career, by the way, unless you're fucking one of these guys over there. But don't quit. Don't ever quit, man. There's no point to. Oh, I might have to get a... Makes a good boomerang. I was at the range one day, and it was a DNR range. And I bought this high point. It was a C9. And I was running around through it. I had a little bit of an issue. But after like 75, 100 rounds, dude... Fuck, it was running like a charm. And fucking all of a sudden, bada bing, bada boom, man, this guy next to me had a Glock 19. It was either a 19 or 17. And that fucking thing, I even took it, like the guy didn't even know how to take it apart. And I even shot it, and it was just trash, dude. And he asked me what I have. I said, "Well, your gun's better than my gun, but your gun doesn't want to work." Yeah, Sky CPX, dude. That I'd rather carry a high point than a Sky CPX. That Sky CPX that I had back in the day almost fell apart on me while shooting. Like, Alex Smith. Now you have one. There you go. Ask and you shall receive. Sometimes on this channel, Alex. So I hope to see your subscription up here somewhere. You know what I'm saying? There you go. Don't ever quit. Just make content that you like to do. I had the C940 and the 45 and them up. Yeah. It's just, all guns aren't made the same, and they might look the same, but I mean, if you looked at that guy that was griping on Yankee shit today, he said he had 3 SIGs, and 1 out of the 3 was the one that was doing that shit. The other ones wouldn't do that. Again, not all guns are created equal. Like, everybody shits on me about the SD9VE. And I'm telling you, dude, that gun would not run with new magazines. And then people were telling me to buy springs for it. I remember Travis P. specifically saying, buy a new recoil spring for it. And this shit was expensive. It's like, dude, I bought this gun for peanuts, and it just will not run. And the bad thing about it is, I sold about 10 of those fuckers, and about 8 of them came back with the customer bitching and complaining that the gun didn't work. And I told them, I feel your pain. I bought one too. And I gave them the advice. I think it worked for 1 or 2 of the guys, but the other guys were like, fuck that. I got rid of that gun a long time ago. And I was like, so did I. So, I mean, I don't know, dude. It's just, you gotta run them, dude. You gotta shoot them. Like my brother, he's got a Smith & Wesson Shield, the first generation. That's how long ago that gun was, when it first came out. I told him, like, go buy a Glock or go buy something, and he came home with the Shield, the first Shield, and I'm like, well, that's a good choice. I'm and 10 subscribers away from hitting 100 subs. There you go. There you go. Dude, I'm surprised. I'm surprised I have this many subscribers the way I have, dude. How long? We sat at 1,000 subscribers forever. Forever, dude. It's just some people just don't get into what I do here, and I totally get it, and I'm not mad at them. Hold on, I'll be right back. Talk amongst yourselves. I have to go to the bathroom. Talk amongst yourselves. Oh, I gotta go to the bathroom. Give me a minute. Here, stare at my chair. I'll sit in my chair this time. Alright. Hello, I'm back. Hello, I'm back. Oh, Lord. I had to pee like a racehorse. What, did I miss anything? Back in the day, you could hear me pee back in the thing. I think Glocks are the best, just no safety. I have 117. Look at Ron's moving up in the world. Alpha is out there. Pretty cool. They got a safety system though, Jason. Just no. I wish I could open up one on camera. Maybe I'll do a video on that. Glocks do have a safety. It's not as traditional as what some people would consider it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's got the trigger dingus in there. And I'm telling you, man, if that dingus isn't pressed, dude, it's not like SIGs. SIGs don't have the trigger dingus, if you notice that. Look at George is out there. Old George. I think George and El Chapo would have got along together. I like George. And I'm not a cat person. God, didn't we have that discussion years ago when my daughter wanted a cat? Remember that? She ended up getting a cat. I'll tell you that right now. You can't unlive, yeah. Used to watch the guy with guns on his wall, but as soon as he touched the guns, he got banned. Yeah, dude. That's what sucks about it, man. Like, we can't do that stuff anymore. People ruin that, you know? Again, people are assholes. I'm in the mood to start a new holster. What kind of leather would you use? I found it was sad too, because when I was looking through shit today, especially when I ran into all that 410 ammo I was talking about at the beginning of the chat, I found my old holster for my 686. It's a leather one. And then I found the other set of grips that I had for it. And then I was cleaning out and putting shit in my filing cabinet today, and I found the slip for it when I sold it. And I didn't get shit for that gun either. And that was one of my bucket list guns too. Like I strive to get a 686 plus because I always wanted the plus version because it gave you an extra round of 357. So it was one of those. When I had it, I carried it. I carried it at the NRA show. I carried it uh, at protests. I carried it in the woods. Like I carried that gun a lot, man. And it was a boat anchor. It was a boat anchor, man. So then I got that. What was it? Who was it from? 1791. It was from 1791. I like Kydex. Leather seems better, but too expensive. You can get the hybrid ones. You can get the hybrid ones where you can have leather on the inside and Kydex on the outside. Look at those options too. You can get the best of both worlds, my friend. We live in the best time of firearms, and especially accessories for firearms at this point. But you can get that shit together. There's a couple of companies. You too, man. See you later, Alpha. So, like this one, I'll show you this one. So we don't get dinged. You can't see what I'm doing. So you can't see what I'm doing. See, like this one. Oh, good lord. Like this one, this is a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Like Ozzy makes all his leather, so like you can get metal. Like this is all leather, but this guy that made this holster, he can do it in different ways, and he uses all his own material. Like this one was crotch carry, but and you can loosen and unloosen the screws. But he can do you either leather on the outside, Kydex in the on the inside, or vice versa. Like there's a lot of companies that are doing that nowadays. Ozzy can speak to it more than I can because he makes them a lot. But you can get the best of both worlds. There's a lot of companies that do it. Some people don't like that. Me, I used leather holsters a lot for my revolvers. Not so much my semi-autos, but my revolvers, because my revolvers were all nice. You know, I had the Smith & Wesson Ladysmith. That was really nice. Plus my Model 19, my 686. My 442, my 642. Like I had a bunch of revolvers, and I always used leather because they're a little bit more forgiving of coming in and out of the holster as you were, doing it. So I rarely got a Kydex holster for my revolvers. They make them, but you can get the best of both worlds, man. And like this guy does what Ozzy does, and he even dyes holsters. Like this is the Ninja Turtle holster. This is Ninja Turtles, if you can see it. It's got like the Ninja Turtle skin on there with the shell, and then it's blue. It doesn't look blue on here because I got a cheap light bulb in there, but it's blue because Leonardo's my favorite Ninja Turtle. Because I have a tattoo. See here, I have a tattoo of a Ninja Turtles on me, man. Like there's a lot of different ways. You can get configuration in holster, especially people like Ozzy and Rogue Apparatus and a lot of these dudes that customize that stuff. Who else would do it? Gun Snob did it way back in the day. If you guys remember, he would get sheets of Kydex. It's not that hard to do. And mold shit. How much are they around for an entry level one? If you don't mind me asking, I think mine was around. Yeah, he tried to give me a deal on this one, and I told him, don't be giving me no deals, and don't give me no fucking coupon codes. Here's full price. Give me something quality, and then I'll just push your shit for shits and giggles. I don't want compensation. I'm not one of those guys like you see all running around here promoting gold, silver, and fucking crypto and all. I don't care. I got a Vetter one now. Vetter's alright. How cooked out are you? I'm not cooked out. Dude, I can't remember the last time I had a drink. Quick question. Do you think since Chewbacca stands upright? Jeez. Oh, oh. I tell you, man. These people. Yeah, the bot. I don't think they're bots. I just think they're losers that have nothing else to do in society. Like, that's something. If we want to get on societal issues, that's the one main thing that I've seen, not only from like middle-aged men, but kids. They ain't got shit else to do, man. Like, the internet didn't exist when I was growing up, and it was either you come inside and do chores, dishes and shit like that, take or you go out into the woods, or you go to a ball field. You go outside, basically. You just go outside. There was no such thing as the internet. I don't know why I have trolls. Nobody watches my shit anyway. Children are bots. Fathom it being anything else. Fuck. These people think it gets to me, and it's like, fuck, you haven't worked behind a gun counter for 10 years. It's just, weird, man, you know? Sometimes you roll your eyes. You roll your eyes. I wish they would super chat me money instead of coming up here talking shit. I don't know about people. People don't have anything else to do. You know? They have nothing, like, we can't even have a conversation. The people that are helping me out in the chat, we can't have a conversation with them because they're too busy fucking getting rid of the spammers, dude. It's just, it's annoying, but I mean, nobody else has anything to do in life. Like, go outside and touch grass. Why don't you go adopt a pet? You know what I'm saying? Jennifer Dyer. Hello, Jennifer. How are you doing? I guess I'm here. Connecticut, huh? Never been to Connecticut. Make it subscribers only. Yeah, but then, you know, then if they actually have a question, like a real question, dude, then it sucks. Because then they can't ask it, and we can't help these people. You know, I'm all about helping these people. Further, whether their education in firearms, gun laws, in especially if they live in the state of Indiana, or if they live in states my other guys in the chat live in, they have a question, they can't answer it, and it sucks. But I get what you're saying, make it subscribers only. But it just sucks that way, man. But again, people don't think before they act. They do it, and then, you know, when they get pimped for it, they cry like babies. Was outside when I was a kid most of the time, even sometimes when it was cold as shit. Dude, we made snowmen's. Chose to stay inside and watch stuff. Yeah. I don't know who Chris Murphy is. Is that a Congress critter? Don't get me started on Congress critters. They're all bad. Yeah, dude, it turns people off, dude. Like, who wants to go to a chat and you can't say shit in it? Especially if somebody says, like, the wrong information, continues to portray that wrong information, and then the fuckers in the chat reinforce that dumb shit. You know, it's like, fuck, you can't get in there. I jump off the porch into the snow. Yeah, so did I. We used to jump off the roof of the house. Like, my buddy had I remember he had a giant snowstorm, and they lived in this small, like, it wasn't a trailer park, but it was like a trailer, like those put together houses. So it was real low, and the snow would come off from the north, and it would build up on the back side of their house, and we'd jump off right into the fucking snow, dude. Parents were so pissed. Of course they weren't home because we were dumb. Twisted my ankle. That was way back in the day. Ron threw in $2. Ron, you ain't got to throw $2 in there, but I appreciate it. There's the heart for it. I can't put it on the screen like if I get this laptop up and go, I got a laptop, Ron, I'm a step closer, buddy. I'm a step closer to joining you. Ron's trying to have live chat, so when Ron, go subscribe to Ron when he has a live chat. Get on there. The lens is really probably because I don't know. Probably because my lighting is trash. You know, I don't have great light bulbs. It's not like back in the day. I'm sorry. I appreciate it though. You coming in here. It's his phone signal. Could be that too. I don't have great internet right now. Sleds, yeah, dude, going down these hills. We used to go down this place called Mount Baldy back in the day. Huge. It used to be a huge dune. If you go look at some pictures on Instagram, I pointed out a lot. Like that big ass sand dune was gigantic, and now it's so small. Wipe the screen off. Let's give that a shot. See if that helps this guy that wants to look at some ugly fucking guy with a beard. Wipe it off. Wipe it off. Wax on. Wax off. Wax on. Wax off. Did that help? Oh, now I got rim oil on my fucking phone. I can't do nothing about it, but sorry. Wash your balls. Did that today already. Dude, look at these people. Wow. There you go. Just remember, for these guys that are coming in here and saying stuff, I'm reporting you, so you'll never. Once YouTube trust me, once YouTube gets a hold of that, dude, you'll have to go and find another email account. You know what I'm saying? Go Cubbies. Yeah, I heard they blew it today. I didn't go. Sometimes I'll try and get down to the casino because they have FanDuel in there. They have all these giant screens. I'll take a picture and throw it on Instagram, or I'll put it in the community tab next time I go in there. I think I might have back in the day. But you can watch all that shit for free. There's another one. All right. There's another report. Dude, you're just going to get reported until it's over, so. 300 seconds. Gary's nice. I banned that one guy for 24 hours. Well, then I won't be live tomorrow. Like, these people, they ain't got shit else to do in life, man. They just don't. Like, I've never gone to somebody's live chat and said some of the shit. Gary knows what I'm talking about. He's holding the lie. Like, who goes to the live chat and says this stuff? Like, these are people that are just losers. I found my microphone. I have to find my camera, and I think I know which tote that's in. That one camera that I used to use, which is the only one I have. But yeah, I did get a new laptop. I did get that. I don't know what that means. Oh, somebody else got it. Good catch, guys. I mean, even in another language. We ain't playing no games around here, man. Look at, now that we banned everybody, now it's just the people that are actually talking and having conversations, which is hilarious. Another one bites the dust? Yeah, for sure, dude. Like, you guys, these people have nothing else to do. Like, I couldn't imagine how they are, like, without being so fucking stupid as they are. Like, how are they, like, in real life? Like, do you know your parents or your loved ones or your family knows the way you talk on the internet? It's one of the biggest things on TikTok. So if you think about getting TikTok when it gets reinvented in the US version, dude, people will dox you real quick on the internet over there, dude. Real quick. They will find out your ad. They'll get you fired from your job, dude. They will dox you bad. Like, here, I don't care. I mean, you're not hurting my feelings, but I'm telling you, there's some people that will expose you, your family, your kids, over on that platform. So be careful who you're talking shit to. Do it for attention because they don't get attention in real life. Jennifer's probably right, and I wouldn't doubt it. It's a 13-year-old kids that are supposed to be sleeping. Yeah, I don't doubt it, Gary. I don't doubt it at all. And like I said, dude, like on TikTok, I've watched so many people get doxxed off of TikTok. Where like, you know, it's kind of like what politicians were doing. You know, they would go and say some things in a crowd of people. Maybe somebody would act out. Maybe somebody wouldn't. On TikTok, there's people showing up to motherfuckers' houses. Like all the keyboard commandos and shit. Like if you're going to be a keyboard commando and talk shit to me, that's one thing. But you go over to other platforms and start talking shit to everybody and think you're going to get away with it, there's a guy I want you to look up. His name is Jose Monkey. And I learned how to find people quick. And a lot of people took that guy's advice. A lot of people started doing it. And a lot of people got doxxed. And a lot of people started showing up to people's houses. And those keyboard commandos surrendered their rank pretty fucking fast when that started to happen. Cheddar Cat Gaming. What games do you play, Cheddar? I get great pleasure banning morons on Twitch. I'm a mod on the few channels there. They make me laugh. It don't matter, dude. It don't matter. Like, dude, TikTok's a whole nother world, man. Like, whole nother world. Like, when I started taking that guy's advice that I just mentioned, and I started putting people in there and taking screenshots of their house and throwing it on there when they threaten my life, it's like, yeah, where do I live? And they're like, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, I don't live there no more. I'm like, go there. I guarantee you I'm not going to be there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, dude. I mean, TikTok is another world like that, dude. Those people, go look at them, dude. If you have that app, be careful. People are fucking crazy nowadays, man. Look what we've just witnessed in the last few days. Fuck, we're living in The Walking Dead, but unfortunately we still have restrictions, don't we? Fuck, you lift all those restrictions in life, dude, it's gonna be bad. Or inside a 12 gauge, through the front door, get off the porch, yeah. I don't have TikTok or Twitter or X, whatever they call it. Yeah, dude, I logged out of Twitter a year ago, maybe a tad bit less than a year ago, man, because I kept on getting banned. Like, there would be liberals, like liberals would come on there, and I would have no interaction with them, don't know who they are, call me a baby killer, that I support the death of children because I have guns on Twitter, and I would report them, nothing would happen, and I tell these people to fuck off, and they would ban me. And it was constant. Yeah, dude, it's called an IP address. An IP address, dude. They were looking up people's IP address, dude. And some people were going to these fucking people's houses, dude. Dude, like when these people wear masks, like over on that platform, a lot of the liberals, the Antifa people wear masks and they think they're protected. It's like, fuck no. When people find your IP address, dude, they know exactly where you're going. That's what the cops use to find you. Dude, it's crazy, dude. It's fucking crazy. You know? Oh, dude, TikTok can turn into a fucking hot mess quick. I like it because the algorithm's strong and you can catch a quick following there. But dude, if you disagree with this, like, it's not like gun culture or YouTube here. When you fuck with a creator over there, like these guys are doing in the chat, these motherfuckers will stop the chat. The people in the chat will research you, give that information to the fucker you're talking shit to on the live, dude, and boop, it's gone, dude. It's gone, dude. They will dox you. They will get you fired if you say shit, dude. They do not play on TikTok. Those people, and especially the liberals. The liberals just got a creator banned off of TikTok and lost his job. Like, these people are fucking ruthless, dude. And like I said, there was people showing at people's houses, bro. But I mean, again, think before you hit send. You know, all they have to do is look up your IP address, dude. Look at a video. A lot of times, they'll find you some way or somehow and go to your Facebook. So if you had Facebook, You know, when you look in sometimes on Facebook, usually when you look at your profile, it's your family members that are up at the top because you're having the most interaction with those people. Like, people don't know how algorithms and shit work, dude, and they'll find those people. Because I remember there was one guy who's being really racist, like the first guy we had in here, like bad racism. Boy, they found him real quick on Facebook. Got doxxed, got fired from his job. Fuck, dude, it was bad, dude. And I mean, you lose your source of income, shit like that, dude. Your family figure out, like, he got his wife divorced him, didn't know he was saying all this shit on this racist shit online, which I don't know how you don't know your significant other is not racist if he's saying it online publicly, but some people stay in the closet and they don't want people to know how much hatred they have in their heart for somebody of a different race, color, or creed. When it comes out, dude, your work finds out about it. Like, I remember the one of the companies that bought my old company started to set standards for social media, and if you publish shit on social media, they would fire you for it. And they came across one of the videos I did, one of the quickie gun reviews, and they told me to stop doing it. That's why I didn't see it for a whole lot of the time. And then another company bought it, and I'm like, well, I'm going to publish the guns that we get in here, and they're like, we don't give a shit. Half autistic, I can't think, it just happens. Sometimes it happens. Knock me out? Why would you want to hit me? What did I ever do to you? And I guarantee you wouldn't. Like, when you get guys, what is this guy? The Fifth Loco. If you ever met me on the street and you took a swing at me, it would be like that meme. You would see the pearly white gates. But that's what the person wants and is waiting to kill somebody when they show up or sue them for everything. Think about it. Yeah, dude. I mean, but there's rewards and there's consequences. Like this Loco guy. Like, bro, you can sit there and talk all the shit you want to, but I can research you just from your IP address, find out who you are, take a screenshot of what you're saying, because I've never met you in my life and we've never had an interaction, but you just want to punch me. Fuck, I'll put a restraining order on you and bada bing, bada boom. That's it, dude. Now when you get restraining orders and all that shit, you can't buy no guns no more. That's how that works, bud. That's why when I got a divorce, I told my lawyer not to restrict me from buying firearms. I'm filing the divorce. Because when you file a divorce here in my state, it automatically puts you in a position where you cannot go out and buy a firearm. You have to make a case for it, and she made my case clear and nice. Clear and nice to the judge. And the judge signed off on it, and bada bing, bada boom. You know? That's how that goes. But this Loco guy, look at him, dude. Look at him. No concept. No concept of anything. Just shit talking. It's funny, though. Your jaw ain't built for that. Well, this jaw's been broke, bro. I was sucker punched and I broke the bone here and my orbital bone. So it's not like I've never been hit before, bud. And you don't scare me, and you're not scary. And threatening me is pretty fucking lame. And you would never do that to me if we came face to face. And there's nothing else we should say. So maybe you should just leave. Because I have screenshotted you. And I'll go look you up. And I'll find out who you are. I'll look at your family. I'll look at what you're doing. And all that. No. I'm alright, bud. I don't forgive people. Ask Jesus for forgiveness, not me. I ain't talking trash, champ. Yeah, you ain't nothing. That guy ain't nothing but a pile of rocks. Ended badly for him. Well, it happens, dude. It happens, dude. I've pulled my gun out more than once, dude. And I fought more than once. I couldn't remember how many, dude. I got suspended from school so many times, dude. It was just because, you know, people would pick on me, you know, and when the picking stopped and the fist started flying, it became a problem, man. It became a problem, you know, because then I wouldn't take shit from anybody, and I was like that for all my life, and then I got my ass whooped. Like, I don't think some of these people in the chat that are saying this shit have ever gotten their ass whipped, dude. Like, I've gotten beat up pretty bad, dude. And, no fault but my own. Sometimes you run that jaws too much. No gun, no, I'm going to shoot you. It's not good. I have no quarrel. People don't understand, dude. My decorum is not great anymore. I used to be very tolerable. I'm very, very tolerable human, dude. I have no tolerance anymore for this society that we live in now. If you're gonna put your hands on me and you're gonna threaten my life and my way of life, dude, problems are gonna ensue, and then you'll have to. Hopefully, your family members will take up this rage and anger you have, but 9 times out of 10, it probably will not happen. Pokemon Go? Oh, I don't doubt it, dude. I don't doubt it. Drug addicts, dude, are the worst. Are the worst. Yeah, dude, I don't fuck around no more, dude. I don't. Like, I think I was telling a story the other night about going in that gas station. Like, when that guy was yelling at the fucking cashiers in my ear, I turned around and told them, that's enough of that. Bad things are about to ensue, buddy, if you don't calm down. And it's like, dude, I have no more tolerance for people. I was a bouncer for over 10 years. I've seen my share of people like loco. Yeah, dude. So have I, dude. So have I. I remember sitting out this bar downtown here when I first turned 21, and these guys were running their mouth to each other. They stepped out there and bada bing, bada boom. That guy that was running his mouth, he was eating gravel, dude. I mean, bad things ensue. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I feel like Sam, dude. Yeah, like, dude, I'm not, dude. I'm old, dude. These fists have been broken, beaten, and bludgeoned anymore. And at one point, they were a key to my life, my job. Like, I needed my hands for my job. Like, I'm gonna spend time rustling around in the street? No, no. The cops are gonna spend time if I'm not carrying a revolver, picking up the shells, and I'm gonna have to dig my way out of that mess. But I'd rather do that than walking around all fucked up because some asshole on the internet couldn't behave himself. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm telling, I don't have the convictions like I used to back in the day when you guys all knew me. Like, nowadays, dude, it's like, fuck you, dude. If you got a fucking problem with me, we'll solve it here, or we can just squash it and move on from society and never talk to each other again. Like, there's so many people on social media that I've told that we should not have interaction anymore, regardless of the argument we're having. I can't tolerate you, and there's no point to waste my breath, because we'll never come to an agreement. We'll always agree to disagree, and we should leave it at that. And that guy was like, oh, I'm gonna find you and kill your kids. And then I started showing him pictures of his kids, and boy, did he straighten up quick. Like, an eye for me nowadays, folks. I mean, I don't want to be like this. I don't, but people are making me be like this, and I'll never change now. I used to be like this way back in the day, but I calmed down, got my shit together, had kids, tried to start a new life and all that jazz. But boy, that fell through the wayside real quick. I don't fuck around no more, and I think people need to understand that. Like, I'm not fucking fist fighting grown men in the street, dude. I'm not. I don't have time for that stuff. Don't say no shit, there won't be no shit. They made a song about it. There's why they make sidewalks, bro? For that guy, what is his name? Local Butthole. You know why they make sidewalks? Because the streets ain't for everyone, motherfucker. And you're talking to somebody that lived on the streets for quite some time. I wasn't given a silver spoon in the mouth, and I fought and clawed for everything that I had, and I've lost it more than once. And it doesn't matter about losing it again now, because when you lose it 3 or 4 times, I have no value. Why do you think I gave everything away on the channel? Why do you think, there's a homeless man yesterday? I have no money, but what's in my pocket was $3, and I gave him 2 of it. And that was all the money I have. I don't quite care, man. I don't quite care. But, I mean, when you start stepping over those boundaries, dude, there's no going back with me anymore. I've been... This past couple of years, dude, has really taken a toll on not only my mental capacity, but just life in general. And I don't do retail anymore, if you've noticed. I don't have a job in retail anymore because I can't take society and the dumb fuckers that are running around it at this point. I'm always hoping for Darwin. I'm always hoping for karma for people around the world, man, because I think it needs to be said. It needs to be said. I'm the same. We give and try hard. Life has changed. It does, dude. I mean, I would give you the fucking shirt off my back in the day. Yeah, ask these guys. Ask Gary if he's still in there. Ask Ozzy. Ask these guys, dude. I would do anything and everything to help people. Nowadays, dude, in the spot that I am in life, dude, I have one goal, and that's me. Not even my kids. My kids are all old, they're all grown, and they're all on their own journeys and their paths in life, dude. There's no one else. I'm not married. I don't owe that gratitude to that person anymore. I don't, dude. I don't. I'm here for myself. And people are understanding it, and they kind of don't want to understand it, but it has to be that way, man. I've been, well, yeah. Everybody's holding this stuff for review. Yeah. Yeah, dude. Ask any one of these guys, dude. Like, I would do anything to help people, man. I would do anything back in the day to help someone, dude. Didn't matter what it was. Dude, there's times when, after I came back, that I would stop on the side of the road and help somebody change a tire. Now I just drive by them. Like, that's how coarse I am now. That's how sandpaperish, rough sandpaperish I am now, dude. Like, there's sometimes where that comes out, like I told you about the homeless man. But I've been homeless, kind of homeless now. But in the end, dude, it's just like, I'm not nice to people anymore. And I don't hold back what I have to say. And I say what I mean, and I mean what I say. And if you don't heed those warnings, it doesn't matter, dude. Like I said, we're living in the Walking Dead, but we're still stuck with rules. And once these rules go out the window and all chaos ensues, if you try to give me a Bitcoin for my can of beans, I'm probably going to take everything you have and leave your Bitcoin with you as they bury you. That's just the way it goes, man. I don't have tolerance anymore, and it's sad. It's sad because I thought I was getting over that kind of precedence in life when I was, 20 years old, 20, 25, 30 years old. Especially during my 30s, dude. I was such a sucker. I was such a sucker, man, in my 30s. I would bend over backwards for people. I still do it for like fucking, if like Ron wants me to go on his chat, I'm trying to fucking help this dude to get his shit off the ground, his channel off the ground, but I'm kind of fucking hamstringed right here, and I'm gonna help him as much as I can, any way I can. Yeah, you can't be nicer again. You still are. Just have to be selective, especially these days. It's tough. Fucking A, dude. Joshua ain't lying to you on that, dude. At least Josh can come in here and have a fucking conversation. These other guys can't. Yeah, dude. It's dude. You're Cheddar. You're not fucking lying, bro. You're not lying, dude. I am very selective. Like when I leave here, in the beginning of December, I look at it this way. It's a fresh new start. Okay, it's a fresh new start. I can choose again, whether I want friends or whether I don't, whether I want a significant other in my life or I don't. But I'm definitely going to get a dog, and that's probably who's going to die by my side. You know what I'm saying? Hello? What's going on? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to start over, and it's not going to be peaches and cream wherever I end up, and I understand that, but it gives me the option to start over and to keep society as far away from me as possibly, as possibly far from me as I can get it. And that's why I would move in the middle of fucking nowhere, and you guys are like, your internet sucks, I can't see it, it's spinning. Because I didn't want to be around people. It was bad enough working retail. You know what I'm saying? Being a nice guy, you are going to finish last, dude. It's just the way. Also, I enjoy good. I appreciate it. World has changed a lot in the last 20 years, and yeah, dog may be good. I always have had one. Yeah, dude, my dog was the shit. He just died, you know? And that's another thing. When I got that dog, the place I got it lied to me about how old he was, because when I did take him to a doctor, they were like, this dog's pretty old, man. It's not 2 years old like they told you. But he was a good dude, and he did a lot of cool things. We spent a lot of time together, and it was the best dog I've ever had in my entire life, being a kid or being an adult. He died. When did El Chapo die? 3, 4 years ago. He's one of the best dudes ever, dude. He was a fucking awesome dog. I'm a nice guy until I'm not. Yes. Rip El Chapo. Gary knows about El Chapo. That motherfucker used to be on live chats back in the day. I don't know. I don't think live chats are on here. I deleted a lot of stuff off the channel because a lot of it was promoting my job, and I don't work there anymore, and I don't ever want to give those people any kind of promotion in any form, fashion anymore, dude. Like, I put that in my letter too when I wrote to them when I knew I was going to get canned. I said, fuck you, I'm on social media and I can tell these people not to shop at your store. Whether they do it or not, it's up to them. But I understand that you're collecting gun owners' information for your own personal fucking files, and I think that's wrong. Bada bing, bada boom. Put that shit in that letter. I mailed it to them. I'm not scared to confront anybody. They didn't want to talk to me. They wouldn't do anything. They just wanted to fire me. But fuck. All HR is there to do for you at your job is to create a paper trail so that at the end they can fire you for something. HR is not your friend. I remember El Chapo. He was awesome. That dog was the fucking shit, dude. He was my best friend, dude. I'd sit out in the woods and he'd sit on my lap and fucking snooze. Sometimes I'd have to wake him up a little bit, scratch his chin a little bit, open his eyes and tell him, quit fucking snoring, dude. You're going to scare the deer. I took him hunting with me. He's a good dog, man. One best. They were doing scummy shit. I'm losing internet. Personal information, like they would, like if you would buy stuff at their store and you purchased a firearm, they would take your receipt. They would dub your receipt. I'd go back to the gun counter and put all your information in there. That way, I got in trouble and the ATF came. I would give them. They'd see everything that you've bought, every gun that you've bought, every accessory, all the ammo you bought. That's what they would do, and they would write it in your little file that they got. First of all, that's dirty. It's unconstitutional. You shouldn't be keeping people's personal information other than the Form 4473 itself. Other than that, nah, dude, they were keeping track of everything that you bought. And I thought that was wrong. Spoke up about it, got slapped for it, and I don't work there. You know what I'm saying? It was, dude, that place got out of control. Got out of control really quick. And what's funny is everything that I told these people in defense, because I told them I was probably gonna, I was telling them for this past year that I wasn't going to be there. You need to find somebody to find my spot, and you better do it quickly, because if I come into my tax check and I'm right, I'm just gonna fucking leave anyway. So there's nothing you can do. There's no more offering me money. There's no more incentives that you can give me. There's nothing else. I'm leaving. And they were like, fuck, dude. Fuck up, and then we're going to fire you. And I had one of the old managers. They don't even work there anymore. That's what they said. They're like, they're just waiting for you to fuck up, dude, because they're going to fire you. Because, you know what I'm saying, they can't just fire you outright because you haven't done anything, but fuck up, and I guarantee you will. Like, break something or get on the fork truck and stab a pallet or something, they'll fucking fire you for it, and you better keep your nose clean. That's what he told me. And then that guy ended up getting canned too. So I mean, yeah, they were scumbaggish there, dude, and I'll never give that company any fucking money, dude. I don't know, dude, but it's like Bass Pro Shop. I had so many people come to me that went and shopped at Bass Pro Shop and got something wrong on because the Form 4473 has changed. Fuck, I don't know. Since I've been working that gun counter, 3 different times over a course of almost 10 years, 7 years, 8 years, however long I worked there. Fuck, dude. People were getting questions wrong because they didn't understand it because the language is so goofy. Well, what Bass Pro Shop was doing was they would put a red flag by your name and you got that question wrong, you were instantly denied to buy a firearm from them because you couldn't answer the questions correctly on the form 4473. Well, this place thought that was a fucking genius idea and they started doing it. And I was like, how fuck dare you people? Because, you're not, when you're behind the gun counter, you can't coach these people and tell them what to put on this form. They have to fill it out themselves. They can't have somebody come in there and help them. I mean, and then they set the guidelines. Only if somebody was like illiterate, like they didn't know how to read or write. That was the only time that you could help them on a form 4473. And I was like, well, what if you had people like Patriot in the Dark that are blind? What if you have people that are blind and they can't see it? How am I fucking supposed to read these questions for these people to get it? Because there's on a computer, there's no braille or anything on these fucking things, dude. That place started to get fucking really crazy. Fucking crazy. And all the manager of that store would want is the numbers. Didn't care how you got them or where they came from, but they needed those good numbers so they could keep their job. And if they didn't, you saw people leaving the door. Boom, boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? If you didn't get with the program and be a scumbag piece of shit like they were, they would find some way somehow, whether it be harassing you at work, because they wouldn't report the shit to HR. They would get their little cronies and their buddies to come harass you and talk shit to you so you have a reaction. Then they write a statement, put it in there, and that's how they got a lot. I watched, dude, their turnover rate for employment, I remember they hired 15 people. By the end of the month, there was 4 left. That tells you how shitty these people were, dude. If you didn't bow down to some of the management and the people in there, they would find some way or somehow to get you fired. And that's bad. And that's the way that place was being ran, and it's still being run to this day, because I was on a website searching for a quick job that I could do part-time before my time is up here and I move, and I seen my old job posted there. They had a bunch of criteria in there, dude. I was like, fuck, you're never going to find... Everybody in the city is either a felon or a criminal of some type, or they're going to rob you blind. I was like, good luck trying to find it in this area. You let the best dude go. And unfortunately, one of the best bosses I had is now sick and dying with liver cancer. So there's nothing they can do. I don't know how they sell guns out of that place. I haven't been back there since, and I will never step foot in there. That's how bad that place is, dude. And the guy that was doing it prior couldn't pass a background check at this place, because I tried to do his background check because he wanted to buy a gun and got denied. And then he got put on ROT, which is like, it's called an open status. If Cheddar ever did 4473, it's called open status, and they put you on ROT. And you only have 30 days, and then after 30 days, you have to come back in, refill out the form 4473, and submit it again. Like, that dude couldn't even get it. And then went to Bass Pro Shops and strawed a gun. So, I mean, that's who they had behind the counter. And here recently, when I just went to our county fair, they had a booth there, my old job, and one of the girls, I don't have a problem with her, told me the whole story about it. Like, he told these people to fuck off, he didn't want to do it anymore. I said, it ain't as easy as you thought. He said he couldn't stand the customers. And I was like, dude, I did that job for years, bro. Grow some thick skin. I'll see you again. Glad I found the channel. There you go. Yeah, we've been going for about 2 hours. I'm not a real guitar. I am not. I don't even listen to music. I listen to AM radio. Do I like some songs? I guess, yeah. I like the new Superman song. Punk rock. I've never heard that. It's probably not even new. I like that song. There you go. Ron, put it in there. Yeah, go to Ron's channel. You guys go over there and subscribe to Ron. Help Ron out. That's what it's all about. It's about helping the community. When you get asshats, like that one guy I saw with Randy Reviews, or what, when you get jackasses in there, when they start being homophobic and saying some like really nasty shit to people, I hope that guy's channel never fucking survives, because that was grotesque. And it wasn't even about the P320. He just did personal attack after personal attack, and it was like, I don't even want to watch this anymore. Disingenuous? No. Yeah, I don't. I never had any inspiration in life. Like I hated music class when I was a kid. Ugh. Deftones or Modest Mouse. I don't know. I've heard of the Deftones, I believe, but I've never heard of, like, I don't, honestly, dude, if we talk about like Metallica, Slayer, Pantera, shit that I grew up with, yeah, nowadays music, dude, nowadays music isn't music. It's just not. Especially rap. Rap is mumble jumble music nowadays. Like, I don't listen to any of that shit. Like, I used to listen to rap, all that shit, NWA way back in the day. No, I don't do any of that now. I click on 720 or 630. These are all AM stations. I listen to the Weather Channel because I'm a hunter. You know what I'm saying? I really enjoy hunting. So I listen to the Weather Channel more than I listen to all that shit. See you on the next one, Ron. Thanks for coming in. Ron's a good guy. Go see him. Go see Ron. You'll thank me later. But yeah, I've never, cocaine or whiskey. Used to do both. I'm not gonna lie. Don't do that stuff no more. That shit's, it's not worth it. Dude, I haven't had a drink in I don't know how long. I think I might have had a beer 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. Do it for the dead homies. Yeah, pour it out, dude. Pour that 40 out. I used to drink Old English. Remember that? A 40 of Old English. Or the little Mickeys. Little grenades. Remember the little Mickeys with the little bumblebee on it? I used to drink those a lot when I was a kid. You know? All the cheap shit. Budweiser. Budweiser used to be real cheap in the day, dude. Now I guess a case of beer costs almost $30 around some parts. Bon Jovi, yeah, like all that old the hair music, metal shit. Dude, I grew up in the 80s, bro. Like these kids, like I had somebody ask me about some rapper or something the other day when I was in line at the gas station because they were playing the music on the radio. I'm like, I don't have no fucking clue who this is. I'm like, I can't help you, buddy. He's like, yeah, man, you ever heard of this guy? And I'm like, no. No. It's like, dude, I just don't have that mentality to listen to that stuff anymore. I just don't. Yeah, but I listened to all that bullshit back in the day. I'm not saying people don't make good riffs nowadays, but I just don't listen to it. You know, I listen to Juice WRLD. You ever heard of Juice WRLD? I listen to him, but he's dead, so we ain't gonna listen to no more music from him. He was a dude that had a drug addiction problem, ate a bunch of pills, winded up going to the airport and died at the airport in Chicago. I think it was Chicago. It might have been New York or something. But that's about it. Rap is trash. I listen to Paul McCartney. Wasn't a big fan of him. I was born in 1992. Well, that's not bad. Growing up in the 90s isn't bad. I feel sorry for the kids that were like born in like 2000, 2001, 2002. You know, by the time they grew up, man, there's bullshit there. Then the bullshit music started coming. 91, there you go. Give me some Sabbath or Nugent, Sammy Hagar. Do I know Jesus? I hope I know Jesus. I hope he knows of me. Let's see what I got here. Oh, I don't have it. I have my Bible here. I don't want to go too far. Oh, we'll start showing stuff that's not allowed here. I'm stepping on. Where's it at? Oh, it's way in the back. Yeah, I read my Bible the other day. I like Jeebus. I'm telling you, you guys don't understand. Jeebus is an alright guy. Yeah, Ozzy passed. That sucks. I hope so, man. I like the Jeebus, man. He's a good dude. We talked about Jeebus earlier, dude. You're a day late and dollar short, dude. He'd be great at a fucking party, dude. He's a good dude. And have you watched The Chosen? Have you watched that fucking show about Jesus? Go watch that one, dude. If you're a religious kind of guy, kind of gives a good spin on Jesus. And if Jesus was really like that in real life, making jokes and hanging out with his friends, and oh, dude, yeah, it's a good series, and they were putting that shit in the movie theaters. It was so good because it was a new spin on Jesus. They had to make Jesus look cool to get people interested in it, because a lot of people don't like religion anymore, because look at what it's doing to the world. In the wrong capacity, I should say. There's nothing wrong with it, but yeah, dude. I've watched all that shit, brother. Sir, ma'am. I don't want to... Jesus is the realest. Yeah, dude. The Doors is one of my favorite ones. When we were driving down the Wanamaker, I thought I was going to wear out my Doors CD. And fuck, Cindy hated that fucking CD. Break on through. I fucking blaring that shit when we had that little black Trailblazer when I first came down there for the show. Fuck yeah, dude. Back in the day, he owes me money. He probably would owe me money. Have a good day, you too. Try hard. Yeah, dude. Like, people don't... I relate to some things, but... Riders on the Storm. Dude, longest song ever. I used to play that on the jukebox at this old bar I used to be a fly at. Fuck, people... Freebird. That's another one people hated, was Freebird. Because it wouldn't free up the jukebox. I'd walk through the door, and at one point, they took that motherfucking CD out of that bitch. LA woman. Dude, I want to listen to that shit now. Now, you guys want to know what I'm going to do now? You guys are going to make me listen to music. Because I'll listen to that shit. I won't listen to the shit nowadays. Oh, dude, Riders on the Storm, dude. I swear to God, that bar took that shit out of the fucking jukebox as I play it. I used to play another one. It was a country song, a Big Green Tractor. I think Jason Aldean sang that song. When I was a member, it was called Stairway to Heaven, yep. When I was a member of the Moose Lodge, I don't know if you guys know what the Moose Lodge is, but I was a prominent member in the Moose Lodge, got pins and all that shit, went to meetings, all that stuff. Big Green Tractor was on their jukebox, and there wasn't much else on their jukebox, and I'd play that fucking song. I'd put $5 in the jukebox, and back in that day, it didn't cost $3 to play a song, dude. It was like fucking 50 cents, and I put a $5 bill on there, and I play a couple songs, Big Green Tractor. Play a couple songs, Big Green Tractor. People hated it, and they took that one out of there too. That was way back in the day. That was before the internet. Well, me being on the internet anyway, being it so prominent. YouTube, that was when YouTube first started doing like cat videos. That was the big thing of YouTube, how it all started. Well, yeah, dude. Nowadays, I just don't do a dance, do a super chat. I don't do things for free anymore unless I personally know you. Then, yeah, I'll do it for you. I have no problems. Sometimes. You seem like good people. You get a sub. Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Do it or don't do it. You know, just be cordial in the comments, dude. Dog dances with money. Dog dances with money. I'd expect nothing less from a Bears fan. I know it's going to be fucking brutal this year. Dude, I just read a report about the OTAs, and boy, that was bad. That was bad. Indiana. I'm from Indiana, buddy. Indiana. Hoosiers. They say there's more than corn in Indiana. And there is. Nowadays, there is. Back in the day, nah, it's a lot of corn. Nowadays, not so much. Now, cornfields are turning into solar panel fields. And who's your daddy? Yeah, I remember that shit. No, I didn't tell you that. I remember back in the day, I was playing for this team here in town, this baseball team in town, and Toronto Blue Jays organization sent a squad of dudes up here to play us, and they rolled up in BMWs, and they were calling us Hicks. And did we make our own bats because we use wooden bats in this league? They were just shitting all over us, dude. And we late night chat. Hey, yeah, might as well. I ain't got nothing else to do. But we ended up sending them dudes home packing. And not too bad for a bunch of fucking hillbillies. I think they call us a bunch of fucking hillbillies. Remember the one guy on first base when I got a hit called me a fucking hick. I'm like, dude, this is Northwest Indiana and Chicago 60 miles that way. Now, if you go down a little bit more southern than here and say that, you might get your teeth kicked in, but those will be the people that you're referring to. And there's nothing I can do for you. But yeah, dude, up here is not country at all, dude. It's just not. It's more and more going to city life in here. Yeah. That was a good day. I went 2 for 3 in the first game with 3 RBIs, and I think I went 1 for 4 with an RBI in the next game. Because they had some dude on there. On the mound. He was throwing 100, and I couldn't fucking hit 100, dude. Well, I got a piece of it, but boy, I was late on it. I'll tell you that. And got my only hit on that game. You're from Naperville? No, I'm not from Naperville. Naperville is west of me. I'm in a whole different state. I'm not even in Illinois. I could probably drive 60 minutes and go to Chicago, or I could cross Lake Michigan and be in Chicago in a few hours, depending on the weather of the lake. The lake is unforgiving. I think we had that chat when I was sitting up in that hotel room the other day this weekend. Yeah. Nah, man, I don't go to Chicago. I don't go to Chicago, and I don't give my business in Illinois. I just don't. St. John's, no. No, not St. John's. I don't even know where fucking St. John is. I know where St. Joe is. St. Joe, Michigan. Yeah, I live around there. But no, St. John's, no. I don't live there. What's G doing out there? What do you got on the docket today? If you guys have a channel, put your channel, put a link for your channel into this chat. I don't care. Do that. Maybe you'll catch a new subscriber or something, or somebody that has a like-minded interest. You never know. G can tell you about TikTok, how bad TikTok is. Sometimes I just go on there and just watch dog videos. I just woke up, slept through most of the heat today. Yeah, it was a hot motherfucker today. I cut the grass the other day for a couple of bucks. Fuck, dude, I thought I was gonna die. And I should have waited it out, dude, for another hour or two. But, man, before the sun went down, but I wanted to get it down. There you go, Gary. I wanted to get it down before, because I knew rain was coming in the next day, and the grass was already high, and I was like, fuck, I'm not dealing with that shit after this rainstorm. So, went out in the heat. Felt like I had heat exhaustion at one point, so I stopped and did a little bit of tinkering around and fucking cooled off, drank some water and shit. Got it done as fast as possible. Not the greatest job in the world, but good enough where the city's not going to find these fucking people. Because that's what the city does. If you didn't know, in my city, fuck, they'll drive around and look at your property and start writing citations. Now, the big thing is that we have a new train station, and now all the people are coming here, and people are all parking all over in the rich people's area to go onto the beach, and now the rich people are bitching about it, and it's hilarious. That shit went all the way to the Supreme Court. That's how bad this shit has gotten around here. And Brandon Circus, I'll face today's problems tomorrow. Yeah, man, that's how I feel. But I had to get that shit done, dude. Because I knew that when the rain came in, dude, the fucking grass would be fucking knee-high. Like, these people down the street, I'm about to go ask them to cut their grass for about $40. To make a quick $40. I'd like to get some more Makarov ammo. Trying to. I found 4 more boxes of Makarov ammo, so I'd like to do a comparison with my Bulgarian and my P64. Cause surplus, dude, I'm telling you, I was watching. Let's fucking go, Cubbies. Yeah, fuck yeah, I love the Cubbies. Mac and cheese. I wish I had some mac and cheese right now. Fuck. I wish I had some big shells of cheese, man. So good. Fuck. I was at this restaurant about a month ago, and they had stuffed shells with ricotta cheese in it, with a little bit of Parmesan. Fuck, good, good. And you know, sometimes, see, I'm part Italian, so like my grandmother, we used to call her Nana. Dude, she would make fucking outrageous shit, dude. Like, oh, you should have opened a fucking restaurant, lady. America's perfect pasta. I drove a train to Indiana and I seen uncut grass at the poor people's houses. I would go off. Probably sue the city for having to be such a thing. I can't even. Dude, that's how crazy it is here, dude. Like, I had to cut my mom's grass yesterday too because the city would come by and bitch at her. I mean, she's like fucking damn near 80 years old, and you want her to go cut her grass on a 103 day with humidity. But I went out there and labored for her. Might as well, right? The Predator versus Boba Fett. Who wins? The Predator, because the Predator can become invisible. Unfortunately. Boba Fett ain't no bitch, but the Predator can be invisible. And that's a fucking game changer. Somebody should do it. Nobody's doing, with all these superhero movies coming out, nobody's doing a bracket for the best fucking superhero movie yet. What's your favorite gun? We had that question. What was it? My CZ SP01 that I can't show you on YouTube because YouTube hates it. And it's the best gun that I can shoot. That, my other CZ, out of the bunch of my guns. I can still shoot my guns good, but I'm a CZ guy. I shoot them well. They fit. I don't have giant hands, so the bore axis really helps me get up underneath the beaver tail and get my hand forward enough where I'm not like reaching with my finger and shit, dude. Because there are some guns, like I had an XD back in the day, one of those duty XD guns. It is fucking huge, dude. Because, you know, back in the day, guns were bricks. They're not what they were like they are now. And boy, that gun sucked. I couldn't shoot it well because I could barely hold it and get my hand to the trigger. Predator got bodied by a guy that moves steel up and down. Oh, dude, I'm not even going to risk it, Maverick. I wish I could, dude, but unfortunately, I just don't want to risk it. I appreciate the question, though. Yeah, you can show, like, squirt guns and shit like that, but dude. Once you pick up a fucking gun, dude, on a live chat, it's over, dude. The algorithm, I wish they would make the algorithm that strong to push your platform instead of banning you. But, I mean, YouTube doesn't like gun channels. Yeah, I can't wait, Ozzy. You're going to shoot that gun and you're going to be like, yeah, it's fucking awesome. Go look at my video of my gun, dude. I fucking shot the daylights out of that gun. Never had a malfunction with it. And I bought that gun from the first time that place was closing. And that gun was retailing at about 800 pieces of corn kernels. And I got it for only 500 pieces of corn kernels. Fucking deal. Scorpio acid bugs? I don't know what that is. I have a 12 gauge Mossberg. Good choice. I have a 870. Remington 870. I owned a Mossberg way back in the day. But that was a good seller too, especially for when turkey season came around, the beginning of this year when I still worked there. Like, a lot of people bought a Mossberg 500. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can do a lot of shit. Yeah, it is a shame, dude. I mean, look at the Mossberg's greater than Remington's greater than Mossberg. Mossberg's greater than Remington. I don't know what that guy just said. Moises, we speak English here, unfortunately. Is that Spanish? I think that might be Spanish or something. My Spanish is rusty as fuck. ¿Dónde estás cantina cerveza, por favor? But this is las manos. Like, my Spanish is very, very limited, but people didn't know. I used to work at a factory that made Oreos and Ritz crackers, and everybody in that fucking place was Mexican or Puerto Rican. And boy, you should learn Spanish if you're going to work there. There you go. Guatemala Chamber of Commerce, huh? That's fucking cool. Where's Travis P? Is he still at the campground? Travis P is a fucking teacher for Spanish. Where the fuck is Travis at to translate? That way this guy doesn't have to, if he's not really fluent in English, we could have had a conversation. I'm willing to hear what anybody has to say nowadays. Who thought goose hunting was prepping for World War III drones? Drones are scary, dude. We never had that back in my days. Did you see the news on the P320? Yes, I did. Disturbing. Don't buy one. Don't buy one until they figure it out. I mean, look at it that way. I mean, take your chances. Do what you have to do, kid. I wouldn't. I had one. SIG never really, just wasn't a big fan of SIG, dude. Wasn't a big fan of SIG. I got rid of all my SIG guns. I had the P320, I had the 365, and I had another fucking SIG that I got rid of. Makes me worried about my 365. The one thing you gotta look at 365 is when you shoot, look at your primer drag. But you have a newer gun, and it should be solid. Like, I think all that shit back in the day, that's why I didn't buy the 365 right off the get-go. Because I knew there's always going to be problems with guns when they come out. And the primer drag was the biggest thing on the 365s. And I actually saw a guy who brought one in because he thought we traded guns. You could trade a gun in at the shop that I worked at, but we didn't do that. And he opened it up and showed the broken firing pin from all the primer drag on it. That was way back when these guns first came out. That was when the gun counter was on the other side of the place. No one knows what I'm talking about. But for the most part, my 365 was fucking solid, dude. It was a good choice. I think the gun that you have is a great choice, dude. I think it's a pretty good gun, and it's not a 320, so you shouldn't have anything to worry about. But like your old man said, don't be doing no crotch carry stuff, dude. Don't be doing any of that goofy shit. I mean, you can do what you want, but boy, sitting right next to my, not scared. There you go. Yeah, drones are fucking crazy, dude. I'm not drones are, Skynet will take over the world. I never believed it, and I thought these guys were bullshitting, but G was right. Skynet will take over, and it's doing it right now on the battlefield. Supposedly the play in the slide is what makes it fire on the 320. Mine has 0 play. Yeah, because it's not a 320. It's a whole different gun. It's a whole different production of a gun. Is there similarities to the 320 on that gun? Yeah, but you should be solid and ready to go, man. It's not a big fucking issue, you know. Like when I watched that Wyoming guy's video, dude, and he was fucking playing with the slide, that fucking thing was rocking, bro. P226 is the best gun SIG ever made. The P226 Legion that we had at the shop was fucking awesome, dude. It was, fuck, that gun was the cat's meow, dude. Yeah, dude. Most definitely, dude. That guy was rocking the whole fucking slide, dude. I've never seen it like that. Like he said, he tried it with his other ones because he's got a bunch of them, and they didn't do that. So I think there might be something up with that, dude. The tolerances maybe be doing it. I'm not a gunsmith. I don't claim to be one like other people on the internet, but dude, I never liked the 320. It wasn't a big seller, and I owned it and got experience with it. And I think if you have a P320, I would put it on a Wilson Combat frame and get rid of the SIG frame. I mean, all you do is lift that fucker out, throw that fucking other one away. It was way more comfortable to me, way more ergonomic to me. A Car 9 was pretty nice. Yeah, Car Did they make anything for SHOT Show this year? I watched quite a few videos, but I never saw Car. Car were pretty solid, but those people I've read up on them, and they're kind of weird. They're kind of a weird company. Like, the people that own it are weird. But yeah, Cars are pretty solid for the most part. But I haven't seen them put anything new out. Like, I was surprised High Point made an AR. Like, fuck. They must understand that putting lipstick on a pig is not a great way to go in this environment of guns that we live in today. New 9 double stack takes P365 and Hellcat mags. No shit. I'm going to look that up. Where's my pencil? What is that? It's a Car 9. Takes double stacks and something. Alright, I wrote it down. I'm gonna research that. I'm gonna look at it. Weird but cool from what people say. Yeah. I got a car in the car. Car X9. I'll look at it, dude. I'll see what it is, dude. I'm not opposed to car. We didn't get a whole lot. Even before all the companies before the one that's in that building now, when they started to fall. I think we got one 9mm car, and didn't they make a 380? I think one was in 380. Nobody liked them, and I kind of thought they were okay for the time that we were living in at that point, because I don't think the 365 was around at that point, but it was another good option. It was a better option than having a Sky CPX. And if you look at all the gun companies that are gone, Remington's gone, Delton's gone, Sky's gone, the other AR maker's gone. Like, there's a lot of people that are gone from the wayside, man. People in Massachusetts call them car harms. Best gun ever made was in 1911. John Moses Browning, man. Everybody got his design down. Everybody copied it. And that's why we live in the world that we live in today, because of John Moses Browning. There's a big thing at Wanamaker about John Moses Browning the last time I went. A little article about him that they had on the wall when you first walk up in there, and you go through the doors and you have the counter to the left of you. If you went back where all the prominence of that place, of how it got built in there, and they showed it. Look at this. Dude, you don't have to do it. Don't spend it all at once going to bed. Yeah. Kid throwing me $2. You should go buy me a box of Makarov. Save your $2. So I could do this fucking video. You know? Fuck. Not 21, unfortunately. Yeah. One day you will be. You only got a couple more years, kid. Then you can stop bugging me to go buy shit for you. And then you'll be on your own. Have a great night. Go to work tomorrow. Little shit. Now you can buy some maxi pads. I could. If I was a woman, but I'm not. Maybe some diapers. Sooner or later, that kid right there is going to have to buy me some diapers. You know? Sooner or later. You know? We come into this world wearing diapers. We leave this motherfucker wearing diapers. Always remember that, unless you cash out sooner. But if you live that long, yep, you'll be in a diaper before you know it again. No. I didn't vote for Donald Trump. Checks. So, no. So, I voted for him the first time because Hillary Clinton is an absolute scumbag and should be in prison. Because I went to the NRA show the first time, and I ran in. What changed my perspective about politicians and the way they act and do is I had a conversation with Chris Pronto. Where's that fucking shit at? Fuck, I don't know. Where'd it go? Oh, I had it here a minute ago. Here. The guy that was in this movie, that was portrayed in this movie. That's the guy I talked to. This guy there, that's the guy I talked to in real life. Not that guy, but the guy in real life. And he told me lowdown of what happened at that time. And I'm telling you right now, that lady sent those people to their death. What she did and the administration did. So you'll never catch me voting lady or anybody else that's associated with them. I personally don't agree with ethic of these puppets that could vote for election. If I'm 11 and my friend is 11, that means we're 22. So 50-50 on the price should be fine, right? Yeah, right. If only the world would work like that, you know? It's horrible. I think we're going right now are horrible, dude. I don't think it's great. I think that big beautiful bill is shit, dude. Uh, Not only that, it was used the runners and for them getting their shit. Dude, I watched this guy, his name's Dean, on TikTok, and he's I'll just tell you, who does the big, beautiful bill benefit? And he said, me, the rich. So that should tell you 2000 what you're talking about. Isn't that the same? What would Jesus do? Do what a gore box is. What the fuck is a gore box, bro? Enlighten me. Enlighten me. I don't get some of the people that run in the chat, throw this obscure shit in it, and then don't explain it. And now I'll probably be sitting up at night, probably like 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, and wonder what a gore box is. A game gore box. I don't know what that is. I got PlayStation. I got PlayStation 4. I don't know what a fucking gore box is. It's fucking crazy. I don't know. Any other questions out there in the chat? Only a couple more people out there. Everybody's going to bed. It's Wednesday night. Everybody's got to work. See it? It's one of my favorite hats. It doesn't fit quite well because my hair is so fucking long. Are you illegal? No, I was born in the United States. I was born in the United States, bud. M. Gabriel's out there. What's up, bro? I was born in the United States. There's nothing you can do. Yeah. I think it's wrong what's happening to some people. I'm all down for like deporting, scumbag shit people. I'd be like, hey, good night. Good night, Ozzy. Cap. Oh. No. Unfortunately, it's not cap. Isn't that... I never understood that shit. What happened to the terms true or false instead of fact or cap? I've never heard... I never understood that shit. But no, it's not illegal. Thank God. I'd already been... Fuck, bro. I'd already been fucking deported by now. They wouldn't... Dude, they wouldn't tolerate me. That's the only thing that's probably saving me. True. Yeah, I'm not down with the kid lingo, dude. So if you're younger than me, don't use your guys' lingo, man, because I probably won't catch on to it. Sooner or later I will, but cat, true cat. Yeah, I think it's weird. Like I watched a video where this kid was talking to his parents in. Like, it sounded like robot language. And the dad was like, you fucking need to talk like a human being. Like, using all the acronyms and all this shit. And I was like... I don't get it, dude. I don't know why people shorten things and they just don't say what you mean. Just say what you mean. English is easy. It's one of the easiest languages I think you could probably learn. Some people say no from other countries, but it's like, how can it be hard to say shut the fuck up, you piece of shit? That's not very hard in my world. Eat a bag of dicks. Remember that? Shit like that. Techno, hello. Blood visions. It's been deliberately done to bastardize the language even further. Where are you from? Indiana? I got what you said, blood vision. I guess, dude. I just never understood it. Yeah. Do I support what? Pales wine? Is that a liquor? I barely drink anymore. Which is probably surprising to some of these fucking guys in the chat. Some of the shit back in the day was fucking wild, wasn't it? I get a half a case of beer in me, boy. Shit come falling out. Can I get a visa? I don't know. I don't work for those people. Do you like Palestine? I don't care about Palestine. I don't live there. I think what part? Northwest Indiana. I know. I'm drinking. Cheers from PA. There you go. I think it's like, let's put it in this kind of thing. It's like when the NRA was going around telling everybody Hitler's a fucking idiot. He could have won the war, but he was dumb and he was a drug addict. And that's what happens with dumb drug addicts. But he could have won that war. There's a whole documentary on it. You should watch it, dude. It's scary. Imagine that if he won. Some of these people. I just showed. This is what I'm reading now. Eyewitness history of World War II. You know, big proponent. We can learn a lot from history. We certainly can. Thanks for the cheers, dude. I love it. But anyways, about Palestine. No, they let those creeps run their world, and Hamas totally fucking ran it into the ground, and then went and did what they did on the 7th. Dude, that put them all in a bad spot. That's why you don't put those people in power. And like gun owners, it's no fault but ourselves of why we have restrictions and why it's so hard to get rid of the NFA. When you put bad people in these positions, you get bad results. History does repeat itself if we don't learn from it. Nothing better to do. I can't, bro. This is the only internet that I have, brother, and it sucks. I know, but unfortunately, I can't. I wish I could, but I can't. I mean, internet's limited, and I'm looking at my data right now, and it's like choking out, and it sucks. I mean, if I can get the laptop up and going and get a good connection, it'd be better. But I'm not gonna do that shit tonight. Maybe tomorrow, because I got a ton of shit. I gotta go work on the truck tomorrow. I gotta clean my 1022, my suppressor tomorrow, and then I'll come back here and start setting up and getting this laptop. Like, I haven't even taken the laptop out of the box. Pretty lazy. I'm the best procrastinator on the earth, I'll tell you that, when it comes to this shit. Because sometimes it's easier to get on the phone and pop it up, but yeah, the connection really gets shitty after a while, especially with this, And once I run out of data, I'll be fucked and sitting at McDonald's trying to get internet. So, or at the casino, one of the two. I'd rather go to the casino because, kind of keep the riffraff out of there, for sure. And I'm rocking back and forth in my chair. History always repeats itself, man. Reading documentaries back and forth, man. And even, like, I worked at a VFW for over 10 years. You know what I'm saying? And listening to stories when people would actually kind of open up to it. And we had one guy, he died years back, but he was from World War II. And, he knew time was not on his side, and we were sitting at the table one time, and I was waiting to leave because I had to clean up the kitchen and shit because I cooked for the fish fries and stuff. Told us a story about hand-to-hand combat, dude, and fuck, crazy shit, dude. Some of the crazy shit I've ever heard, crazier shit than I've witnessed in my life in combat, dude. I've heard a 1022 and suppressor, so I'm immediately supporting you. There you go, yeah. Squirrel season opens up August 15th, dude. and it's one of the biggest game changers that I ever did in my life. Was buy a 22 suppressor as a hunter and as a gatherer, and small game, dude. I remember when I doubled and I shot the one squirrel out of the tree, and his buddy was just looking at him on the ground, and I shot him, and I almost limited out because you get 5 a day, and I was up to 4, and it was one of the best things ever, dude. Best things I ever did. I would like to get a 9mm one, and I was hoping the shit would pass. Even though I don't agree with what's all in that bill, there's nothing I can do. I just wanted that shit to get in there so I can go get a 9mm one. YouTube staff, and I'm here because I was informed of offensive content. Yeah? Yeah? It's offensive. Gary got him before I did. Yeah, YouTube go away. YouTube go away. There's nothing offensive here. We're just having a friendly conversation. Nothing's been shown. Nothing is doing. I did get my other. It's a commemorative metal tag that the DNR send you when you finish your summary, and you give them a report of your experience hunting. I did find that today, so now I found the other ones in my storage, and I have all my little my commemorative metal tags for deer hunting all these years, and I have them all now. You didn't used to get them, and I didn't have the one from last year, so they must have stumbled upon me and sent it back to me, and I'm grateful for it. So thank you, Indiana DNR. I appreciate that, because you give them information on your hunts, what you're seeing. You know what I'm saying? Especially turkey hunting, because I've always been in the business of advocating that we should be able to shoot 2 turkeys per season, 2 gobblers per season, or bearded animal, and we're only allowed 1 here in the state. We're only allowed 1 each season. No, unfortunately, you can't show guns on YouTube or they ban you. You can go into my channel, though, and you can go into my shorts, or you can go into my videos where I do show them, and we won't get popped because you're not allowed to handle firearms on YouTube anymore. But we just had this conversation earlier, how pissed off, because we were talking about the SIG P320 gay platform YouTube. It sucks, dude. They got a tad bit better, and then all of a sudden that went to shit, and they started purging gun channels like bad. Like they even hit me here back just a few months ago for like this. So now I have to go through all these fucking videos from like 10 fucking years ago. 10 fucking years ago to edit them and get the shit that you don't like out of it. Fuck off, dude. Like that's how they move the goalpost on YouTube, and what pisses me off about YouTube is they're always quick to move the goalpost, man. And I had to go through, and I did go through. I had at one point I had 1,100 videos, more than most big gun channels on here. 1,100 videos, and now I have what 750 or something like that. Dude, that's how many videos I lost because they either took them or they told me they were going to take them or give me a strike. YouTube's not fond of gun channels, dude. And everybody thinks, oh, these gun owners have all this shit. No, dude. It's a taboo society for some reason when it was normalized 50 years ago. People were driving to school with a shotgun in their truck. Now, if you do that, the cops are coming. Shit, as an adult, as a parent, I can't even go on school premises with a firearm, you know? Times have changed, folks. Times have changed. Regardless of where you're at, it's whether for the best or for the worst. You know, or you're just maintaining that even keel, as they call it. You know? It's sad, but unfortunately that's what we have to deal with. You know? And then when somebody comes out with, like, I remember when Gunstreamer came out. Gunstreamer was fucking awesome. The platform itself kind of sucked, like navigating it. But dude,
You could do a live and hold guns on it. You could take guns apart on a live. You can look at the mechanism. You could do all that shit. That's what really was cool about Gunstreamer. But then, again, like we talked about earlier in history, dude, you let people in there and they ruin it for everyone. I'm out. Time for bed. Good to see you, buddy. Take care. Thank you, man. I appreciate you, Gary. Uh, I'll get a hold of you here in about a week or so uh, about the channel logo, and then we'll go from there. And then I'll do your duty, and I'll get these fuckers that are putting shit in the comments, dude. But I appreciate your time and your effort. You know, Gary's a stand-up dude. Go find Gary Gizzard's channel. Go subscribe, and then stick around for Foul Territory. He does really good giveaways. If you like patches and stickers and all that jazz, like I have a bunch of stickers and patches and stuff. I found another one. I found a double tap one, and it looks like gum, like Wrigley's gum, but it says double tap on it. I found that patch today, and I found a small piece of silver, which I was really surprised I had it. Like, I went through all my shit today because I'm getting everything that I can't travel with. I'm getting it all ready to go and either consignment and sell it or sell it myself to get a good stack because I'm gonna need it when I leave here. It just sucks, man. But I mean, I've let a lot of shit go, man. A lot of I think I have 1, 2, 3 bucket list guns out of 10 left. That's how many guns are going out of my collection. 10, 11 guns, man. Which there's nothing you can do. Nothing you can do, man. Sorry, bro. I don't know what that means. I don't want to get banned or have anybody talk shit or... Poor guy. Poor guy. A lot of people get mad because they can't come in here and talk a bunch of shit and all that jazz. But what can you do, man? Do I like Hitler? Nah, that dude was a fucking creep, drug addict, psycho, shitbag. Don't like him at all. I mean, he was a dictator. Like, that's the one thing. Like, I chuckle. Like, I watch Smoke and Scan, if you ever seen it, or Portland Andy. And I watch these guys in these parts like LA and Portland. These kids are like, fuck about idea what fascism is. You've never seen it in your life. No one's ever taught you about it. Like, my grandmother came from Italy. Like, my family came from that part of the world and escaped actual real fucking Nazis and fucking fascism. Like, what you're saying today is fascism isn't. It's, you can't get your way and you can't exploit cutting kids' genitals off and it makes you mad. You know, it's like, dude, you have no, like, these kids today do not know what fascism is, dude. They just don't. They've never heard stories of it. They've never experienced it themselves. They just go off of what politicians think it is. You know what I'm saying? But again, if you're trusting the politicians, you have a problem in itself. Dude, look at how gray my beard got. The one time. What's your favorite transgender YouTuber? I would say it would be this girl. She's not on YouTube. She's on TikTok. And boy, I was that mechanically inclined, dude. And they're transgender. I don't give a fuck. Taught me how to fix the shit over here, so I don't care. I don't give a fuck about race, color, and creed. It's like, no, it's not like that. I mean, I respect your lifestyle and what you want to do, but nah, man, don't push that shit onto me and say just because I don't want to do it myself in life that I'm a piece of shit. It's like, no, but no. What's her name, Kaylee or something? You can find her on TikTok, dude. Fucking pretty good at putting shit together. Me, not so much. You know, I look at the value of the content, not so much the person, unless that person's an absolute piece of shit like Tim Kennedy. Like, I would never listen to Tim Kennedy. When the dude that trained Tim Kennedy to have this kind of persona says he wasn't great, you should understand that that man is not great. And it didn't bode well when people were telling this dude to shut his fucking mouth. Because look what happened to Tim Kennedy. Lying about certain things will get you in trouble. And it'll definitely get you in trouble in like the brovet community that you say you're a part of. And his book didn't help him out because a lot of his book was fictional. People even fucking brought receipts to that shit, dude. And it was like, you didn't know this dude was a piece of shit. There's a reason why he didn't want to, he can't fight in the UFC, dude, because Dana White did not like Tim Kennedy. Not saying that Tim Kennedy was wrong and that it got fucking kind of, you know, bamboozled on his loss in the UFC. But in the end, dude, everybody, when your boss is saying that you're not what you're making yourself out to be on social media, yeah, you should have dialed it back then, but fuck, he tripled, doubled, quadrupled down on it. He had no inkling of stopping until finally people called him out. You know, people like that you have to watch out for. Like, a lot of people love Sean Ryan. I'm not a big fan of Sean Ryan ever. Like, I would never give Gavin Newsom a fucking platform. I would never give that man a platform. He is grotesque. And plus, he's related to Nancy Pelosi in some form or fashion. I think it's by marriage. Like, no. I would never give those people an opportunity to speak. Like, if Gavin Newsom called me tomorrow and said, Row, I need to come on your show and express my opinions, I would tell Gavin to go crawl in the fucking hole in California he came out in. I will never give an anti-gunner or a person that has that stance a platform. Never, dude. I'm not Jewish either. If you're interested in that kind of stuff, go watch the Pew Pew Jew. Yeah, he talks about guns too, and he's Jewish. Go talk to him. You know what I'm saying? But no, I'm not Jewish. I have a problem with Orthodox Jews. Like, I watched a video on TikTok earlier where a bunch of Orthodox Jews walked up to a bunch of Catholics and spit on them and called them all kinds of names and shit. Like, I can't, dude, I don't give a fuck what race, color, or creed you are, but when you go and physically spit on someone, nah, dude, all respect goes out the window. I don't give a fuck what nationality or anything you're a part of is, dude. I don't condone that kind of action. Regardless if you like their religion or not. Like, I don't give a shit about Islam. Like, I lived around it in the early 2000s on deployment. Like, fuck you, dude. Like, I don't want to be a part of it. They treat women like shit. Look at the Taliban, dude. As soon as the Taliban moved back in, dude, they beat the living dog shit out of women. Then made them not be able to go to school again or drive or be a fucking human being. Because to them, women are subhuman. And I can't get down with that kind of Islam. I just can't, dude. I'm a non-practicing Catholic. And I can't stand fucking Catholics. But, I mean, I'm not going to go and spit in their face. You're born into a family situation, but people choose to shoot 9mm. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Dude, I carried that 45 for years, dude. That Shield in 45. That was a good conceal and carry gun. If you're looking for a gun, if you can find one of those Shields in 45, I would carry that. I carried it forever. I had a little bit of trouble with it because on the back of the trigger, it has that little bump. If you notice it, if you got one, it's got that little bump on the back of the trigger. And if you look on the back of the trigger guard, there's another little bump. Well, the bump on the trigger would get caught on the bump on the back of the trigger guard and it'd make the gun inoperable. It'd shoot one time, you'd have to like pry the trigger off there. I don't know if the polymer was out of spec, but as soon as I shaved it down just a tiny bit, that when you did pull the trigger and you had to over travel, it wouldn't get caught anymore. You know, I don't know what was up with that, if it was just too much polymer in that. But that was a great gun, dude. It shot like a dream, too. Never had any malfunctions with it. I think it's still on the channel. I think it's still on the channel. I think that one's still on the channel. You can go look, man. Because I remember shooting it on the farm, and I was getting ready to make a video, and I like to shoot the guns before making the fucking video, because I like to shoot without looking at camera angles or shit. Shooting videos can get kind of fucking stupid. So I like to go and enjoy myself shooting and then make the video, you know? I mean, a lot of people do that. I love the box. Right out of the box, dude. Take it directly out of the box and shoot it. And I learned my lesson with Glocks, because when you buy a new Glock, always open it up and get that copper goo. Because if you don't, dude, like I did my 26, oh, that shit will gum up in a heartbeat. But I like to just take a gun out of the box and shoot it and see if it'll work right out of the get-go. You know? It's just one of those things. But I carried that gun for a while. I carried that. Of course, I carried my 357. I carried the 686 plus for a while. And at work, I had to go to, what did I have? I think I had an LCP2 at first, and then I just carried a regular revolver. I think it was my 442 and 38 special. I carried that a lot at work. Like, I wasn't allowed, dude. I worked at a place that sold guns where you weren't allowed to carry a gun. It was against policy. And dude, after the one guy threatened my life and pulled up on me after work, dude, threatened to fucking kick my ass, dude, and I pulled that gun out on his ass. I said, "Do you want to die or get in your truck?" And he got in his truck and drove off. Like, that was a good decision. From that point on, I carried a gun at that job every day, regardless of what those fuckers said. I just never told anybody. And I carried a gun in a safe manner, so if I was carrying shit or building shit or doing whatever these fuckers had me do, it wouldn't go off. It wouldn't go off, it wouldn't do anything stupid, and you can actually move around and function. You know? That was the last straw for me then. You know what I'm saying? Especially when people started to threaten your life. And I'd tell them too, I'd be like, this guy just threatened my fucking life. And they were like, well, we'll tell him not to come into the store. That's like putting a sign in your gun-free zones, you know what I'm saying? And hoping that the person doesn't walk into your gun-free zones. And by the way, I seen a popular YouTuber out there. I seen you motherfucking Mr. Guns and Gear, or not, Mr. Guns and Gadgets. I seen your ass talk about fucking no gun zones and about people suing. I made that up. I was the first one to ask that question when a lawyer's going to sue a politician for making a gun-free zone and someone being massacred in a gun-free zone. That politician, the people that passed that law, should be sued. Bro, is every tech guy from every 80s movie. I like it. I'll take it. Fuck, if you go ask Night Strike, he'll tell you that I fucking threw my fucking laptop. But I'll take that compliment. It may make me look a tad bit smarter than I'm not. But yeah, I'll take that. I'm gonna shave though, coming up. I like to shave, especially for hunting season. I don't like to have a lot of hair because hair gives scent. Things get caught in beards. Plus, I smoke. So my beard probably up here smells like smoke. So I shave it all off in the wintertime. Put on my little scarf. Wrap it around my face. Am I Canadian? No, thank God. No, I'm not. No, I'm American. I'm an American. Thank God I'm not Canadians. I once served, when I was serving, I once served in a unit that was hooked with a guy that was, his name was Pierre Machon or some shit like that. Fuck, I could not stand that motherfucking dude, and boy, was he a fucking prick. And the only reason why I didn't punch him in the face 85,000 times is because he was a higher rank than me. And I never want to meet that guy again. And I don't care what happened to him. Because he was a fucking idiot. Almost got us killed at one point. Not clearing his fucking sector. Let's just put it that way. Put us in a compromised position. And you might say, well, that shouldn't be a good reason for you not to like Canadian. No, I have family members that live in Sault Ste. Marie, and I can't fucking stand those people either. And those people not only served in the United States Army, they served in the Canadian Army when they moved up there, and I didn't get along with them either. I'm not a big proponent of Canada, its politics, and people. I don't. If I can separate myself from them, that's the best thing I can do. I'm not saying they're the most horrible thing on earth, but I don't care to associate myself with them. You know, I've dealt with people, and after them talking shit to people, it's like fuck you, man. You know, all these Canadians that are saying Americans are pieces of shit. It doesn't matter, dude. It goes both ways. If you think I'm a piece of shit, fine. That's good. Don't ask me for help when your immigration, like Europe, dude, like Britain and especially Scotland. Have you seen Scotland and Ireland? Ireland's a hot spot. Yeah, when you get overrun by these people and then they're starting to take your council jobs and you're kneeling down and praying in the mornings and stuff, you'll learn your fucking lesson real fucking quick, man. No, she's American. She's just dumb. Dude, we went, look at it this way, man. For everybody that's left here, left here, look at it this way. Kamala Harris started out as being a prostitute call girl for Montel Williams. So instead of having a call girl lying person, we got a sexist, pig-headed fucker in office. So what trade-off did we actually make? They're both sexual deviant scoundrels, folks. So, but at least Trump has a business side to him. Other than that, there's not much left. But yeah, Kamala was a fucking absolute train wreck. And she was a drunk. She was a drunk. You thought Pete Hegseth was bad? And that dumbass running around punching people and being all fucking hammered over there at Fox News back in the day? Dude, she was even worse. Her aides came out and said she was a fucking catastrophe. Dude, we avoided a bullet on that one. Unfortunately, we inherit another sexual deviant. And I've never understand other than that these people all have money, and that's the only thing that separates us from them is they have a ton of wealth, and it takes a ton of wealth to win a seat. Shit, it takes a small amount of wealth just to win in your state and your local communities. I remembered my mom was a politician. If you guys didn't know, she was an auditor. She was a treasurer for a county. And she uncovered a bunch of fraud. Nobody believed her. She ended up again running for that position. They basically rigged that election against her and said a bunch of shit that wasn't true. And like all liars and thieves and shitbags, it all came out. And everybody looked at my mom and apologized. And they asked her if she wanted the job, and she said, "Fuck you." And she went and became a social worker. I mean, again, you got to watch who you put in these positions of power, dude. And that's the only thing that separates us from them is wealth. And COVID was a huge distribution of wealth to rich people, and this bill is, and so was the omnibus bus bills that the Democrats passed during Joe Biden's administration. The transfer of wealth is huge for these rich people. I remember them sitting on the stage and said, "You will own nothing, you will have nothing, and you will be happy." And that's what they're trying to do. That's why you don't really own your house. You don't really own your property. You don't really own shit in life. You don't. You rent it. And when I ask people this question, I've been asking people this forever. How is it right for these people to charge us to live on this earth? Look at it that way. How how is it fair that they charge us to live here? And then jack the prices up so astronomically that we can't even really afford it. We can't get in a spaceship and drive off, bro. This is where we live. Move where? Where are you going to move? Everywhere you go, you're not going to own anything. Everywhere you go, there's going to be a politician somewhere because nobody wants to pay attention. You can't move. You don't own anything, bro. You don't own land. Oh, I own this house. No, you don't. You pay property tax and you continue to pay property tax. Fuck, you don't own nothing. You don't own nothing in life, man. You rent it. And I don't see how we have to pay these corrupt child predators money to just live our lives, dude. And if we don't, we're then forced with violence and guns if we don't obey them and give them the majority of what we gather in our lives. No, look at it that way. Look at it that way. Because I'll tell you, if you think you own anything in this life, you really fucking don't, dude. You really fucking don't. Yeah, like we were talking about that, dude. Like you come in with diapers, and guess what? You'll probably leave with diapers on your body as an old man. One of the two, man. I mean, I've never understood that. For all the times of growing up and looking at shit and going through, you know, the stages of life of why do I have to pay these people to live here? Like, I shouldn't have to pay these people shit. I mean, the road needs to be fixed. All right, the community goes out there and fixes the fucking road. The bridge needs to be fixed. You go, you pony up some money and you fix it, especially if it's vital. Especially if it's vital. Like, we can't come on a really crummy politician and trying to make my book look like I was the greatest thing since sliced bread. Joe Biden's a great example of that. That man lied through his entire life in politics, and people think he's the greatest thing ever. And it's like, that motherfucker's a tragedy, if anything. Especially, the only thing I'd like to serve is the Jeebus, the Lord, or whoever you believe in. It's not like moving to the county over. I shouldn't be coming in there and doing anything. And the only time they would come in there is to make sure that Joe Biden made that perfectly and unequivocally fucking clear when he did his zero tolerance policy for FFLs. I want to live my life out, dude, without being held hostage. You know, energy is going to be something that people are going to look at hugely. They just did another rate hike here in my area. People are all over in my area on Facebook talking about protesting and blah, blah, blah. But I guarantee you one thing, when that NIPSCO bill, because that's who does electricity around here, comes in the mail, you're going to fucking pay it. If not, they're going to hit this little switch and it's going to be dark during the nighttime for you. And they hold that shit for hostage. Look at Canada's threatening the United States and the people that live up north about taking their electricity away. That's the Canadian government doing it. And then you have our government going back to them and threatening them. Like, who gives the right for these people to threaten everybody? And who's caught in the middle? Just the average, ordinary motherfucker? Like the rest of us trying to get through life and enjoy it the best possible way we can. And doing our little hobbies and the things we like to do. You like to collect baseball cards? Fucking go for it. You like to collect firearms? Go for it. I don't have a problem with that. It's when I start to have a problem with this shit is when people start impeding on and encroaching on other people's lives and telling them they have to live a certain way, or they're threatened with death, jail, or the taking of their shit they worked their ass off for. You know, go look at your taxes. Next time you guys go to work, go look at your taxes. And then go look at your neighborhood around your areas that are falling down. Look at all the homeless veterans under bridges. Go look at all just the homeless people in general. Go look at all these people that can't get their shit right, that are struggling from paycheck to paycheck, especially single moms and single fathers. Go look at those people just trying to find a way, working 2 or 3 jobs. I worked 2 jobs back in the day. You know, that was back in the day. You're talking early 90s. And I was still in high school. You know? And it's even far harder to do it now with the cost of living that we're living in now than it was back then. But again, don't pay your bills. Don't pay your credit card bills. See what happens. I'm 67. I'm in New Mexico. Where are you at? I'm in Indiana. I've never been to New Mexico. Is it hot out there still? I know Vegas and all that shit was hot. Gee, tell you about that. I watched a guy cook a fucking egg in a pan. He put the fucking pan out there in the beginning of the day, went to noon, put some oil in the fucking pan and fried a fucking egg on it, dude. No shit. Tennessee. I was just in Tennessee this past year, man. I went to Gatlinburg. I went to Gatlinburg, Tennessee. And what Gatlinburg, Tennessee is Branson, Missouri, but smaller. And not a ton of hills until you get into those mountains that washed away during the flood. Oh yeah, desert, yeah. I used to sell guns. I used to work for an FFL. That's what I used to do. Before that, I worked in a meat processing place. And I would butcher animals, package them up for sale. What did I do after that? Before that, where did I work before that? I worked at a cookie factory where they made your Ritz crackers and your Oreos. I worked there for about 5 or 6 years. I've had 150 billion fucking jobs. But I've stayed at them for 10, 15 years, or they either shut down or went away. I mean, that's what happens sometimes. Uranus? I'm a big collector. There you go. Dude, that shit, they were trying to hit collectors of firearms with a bunch of shit. They were trying to say you had to get an FFL. Because we had a guy, I forgot, I don't know, was his name Ohio Flyer? No. What was that old guy? If G's still out there, who was that old guy? Man, he came with us on all those trips, man, down there. And he was a huge gun collector, man. And I remember the bill that Joe Biden signed, dude, was trying to put people that collected guns, they had to have an FFL to have that shit. I remember that. Collectors were pissed. And you talk about, you get gun collectors pissed, dude. Those people will rally up. I don't think that ever went through either. Do you know Alpha Kenny Body? No, I don't know them either. You know, I don't know. I make sure I don't know a lot of people. Like, all my friends are gone. I mean, I still have a couple, but either all my friends are dead, gone to jail, or they're in the military and they're so stuck in the military industrial complex that I tend not to want to talk to them. Because if shit went down, those would be probably the people that come collect me and do bad things to me at this point. They believe in a system that is broken. I don't know what that is then. No, I don't. It's not a person. I don't know what that is, man. I can't say I do. But yeah, dude, all my friends are gone, bro. They're all gone. Nobody left. A lot of them died in combat, too. And then some of them came back and they just were not the same people. You know, and it's a shame. Shame. Shame, 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 man. I had some. Peter, what's up, Peter? I had some people. And they were good friends, but they just died. They made bad, drug. I'm a pedophile. Oof. I'm not a pedophile, dude. They need wood chippers. Randy, see you later, buddy. Have a good time. Have fun with your 800 or your 86,000 seconds. So if you add that up, that's how long you're banned for. So next time, Randy, you come in here, act accordingly and don't throw accusations out there. I left New Jersey 25 years ago and I'm alone now except for my dogs. You're so lucky, dude. Dogs will love you forever, man. I'd rather have a dog than ever be friends with a human again. Did that facial hair come with sex offender status? Man, dude, you guys, I think people that talk about that stuff, that say this kind of stuff, those people are actually the people that you're talking about. For sure, dude. Yeah, this shit goes that all when you say this kind of stuff, dude, it goes against community guidelines, especially when I report it. And you'll have to find a new email account when you do this kind of stuff. But yeah, dogs are man's best friend, and it's so true, so fucking true, man. But I appreciate it, man. Dude, I'm telling you, these people, man, they got nothing else to do. Wow. Message retracted. Now that guy will never, dude, was hidden. You were hidden. You can sit there and type away all you want to do now, and nobody will ever see your comments again, bud. Little kids are still awake, you know. That's what they are, dude. And when people make those kind of accusations like that, I think those people are the real pedos, dude. Those are the real people that are out there hurting kids. Those are the real people. The people that have the courage to say this stuff and do it the way they do it here on social media. Those are the people that, like, all those godly church people that have just here recently in the last few weeks that gotten caught for that shit. Yeah, dude, those are these guys. Those are these guys. Because it's not accepted in the society. You know, maybe in certain circles around in this country, but not around here, bud. Go find another channel to do that at. Because it ain't going to end well for you here. I tell you what, man. It's disappointing, too. You know, I remember a lot of people fucking, you know, they kind of sit here and defend liberals the way they do, but boy, when they go out and liberals do crazy shit, you know, it's justified. And the same goes with conservatives too. But I haven't seen a whole lot of conservatives here lately that do what some people are doing. Gone. Another one gone. And then I'll report that one, and now you'll never get on YouTube unless, again, you make another email. But they'll start catching on to you when you make email after email after email after email. They'll start catching on to you, and then they'll ban you permanently. Get into that, dude. TikTok does it all the time. Like, people always get banned off TikTok. People always get banned off TikTok, man. And then they try to come on and make another account because it tells you in before you get on there, tells you in their guidelines, like, if your account gets banned, you can't make another one. And if you make another one, we'll figure it out. We'll ban you. Their algorithm is so fucking strong over there, it puts YouTube's to shame. Oh, dude. It's just, you just wonder about people. You wonder about people that have these kinds of mentalities. These are the people that would never say any of this to anybody's face in real life. The internet, hey, for them to leak out their hatred. Because if any of these people would go out into society, especially if you came in my neighborhood and said some of the things that these people are saying on this chat, dude, I'd be reading you in my local newspaper, and I'd probably see your mom with your face on the t-shirt. He was a great boy. He did nothing wrong. He was a great man. And I'll be like, no, he wasn't. And I don't feel sorry for you. And no, I'm not going to donate to your GoFundMe. And good riddance. And that's how I look at people that have that kind of mentality. Hopefully it got off the screen for you guys. I've been reporting it to YouTube. You're not going to be able to cancel my live or anything like that if you think putting these comments in there is the way to go, because it won't. It's just going to come back to you. And then I'm going to ban you from the channel and you'll never be able to come here. My kid wants to golf. Yeah, good luck on that. I think the best golf game I ever shot, I shot like a fucking 172 last time I shot golf. Not great. But my brother took me. My brother was always good at bringing alcohol to the golf course. And you know, when you have about 4 or 5 tall boys and probably a shot of something, well, I got tired of buying golf balls. Got tired, especially because I'd be trying to be cool too. You know what I'm saying? And I'd buy the expensive pack of golf balls, and boy, by the end of the day, I'd be asking my brother for a ball. I'd be like, I need another golf ball, man. So that hobby can get expensive. It's much cheaper. I look at firearms being a tad bit cheaper than golf. You know, usually sometimes with a firearm, if it breaks, you can fix it if you're really witty at that. You break a club, you gotta go buy a new club. There's no kind of fixing it. I mean, I guess you could probably weld it in some form or fashion, but it wasn't. I didn't get certified in welding, but I came pretty close. You could probably do it, but again, it's cheaper to go buy a firearm. That's how I look at it. And I sold my golf clubs this past year too. So yeah, I gave up golf. Gave up golf a long time ago. Plus it's just too much twisting and turning on the old body. I like this. This is fine. This is great. Twisting and turning my fucking arm. Ping, 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 ping. That's a lot easier than trying to hit a golf ball 190, 200 yards. In my opinion, anyway. I don't watch golf. My brother's a huge golfer. I'm not. I played it with him because, you know, I like to do activities with my brother and hang out with him. But man, here last few years, I've fallen out of interest of everything, dude. He's not a gun dude. He doesn't do the shit that I do. He doesn't sit in the field that I do. And, you know, we don't have a ton of things in common other than baseball. That's about it. You know? Don't have a whole lot in common, man. It's the way it is. Like G said, you're born into a family, and then you're a 9mm user. Or whatever he said. It's fucking hilarious. You're born into the family situation, but people choose to shoot 9mm. Yeah? Yeah, a long time ago. 12 Bravo. 12 Bravo Papa. I don't know what 12 Bravo is nowadays. They change the acronyms for that shit all the time. I don't even give a fuck no more. Yeah. Yeah, I don't care for that shit anymore. When I first got in there, I'll tell you a story. When I was at MEPS, because I had to go to Chicago for MEPS. Here's a story for you before we go. So I had my first child, man, and I was a roofer, and I was playing baseball, and 9/11 happened. So I went and signed up, and I went to MEPS, and you get in these buses, and they were dropping people off. So when they dropped off our group, man, there was a fucking line out the door. This is after 9/11. Line out the door. Every fucking walk of life you could imagine was gonna put their name on the dotted line. So we're sitting there, and we had backpacks, and I don't know if they still do it now. Dude, this is decades ago, and I had my backpack on, and I'm talking to these guys, and they were talking about going into the Air Force because they wanted to be fighter pilots. I'm like, fuck, you got to have 20/20 vision. You know, I'm not going to be a fighter pilot. I'm probably going to have to kick indoors unless I find a skill really good at it. Because I think I scored a 75 or a 78 on my ASVAB or something like that, man. And fucking, I only had a limited amount of choices, but I always wanted to shoot mortars. I was interested in shooting mortars for some reason. I really, I watched a video on it, because in the recruiting office, they give you your choices and shit, and I'm like, I want to shoot mortars. And they're like, man, what are you going to do after you get out of the Army? And that's one of the good things that my recruiter, Sergeant Sparks, he died. He died years ago in Iraq, but he was my recruiter. But he's like, my advice to you is find some skill that you can do here, but when you leave here, you can take to the other civilian world with you. And he's like, who's gonna hire you to shoot mortars? So that I ended up becoming 12 Bravo, which was an engineer and shit like that. So we were standing in line at MEPS, and I had my backpack on, and I'm talking to those guys that I mentioned, and this lady, I should say ma'am, was walking down the line telling people to drop their bags, because they go into your bag and they take your contraband, cigarettes, drugs, alcohol. Because there's so many people, we had to stay overnight for 2 nights because they couldn't process us all in one day. That's how many people signed up during 9/11 in my area. I don't know about you, but yeah. So finally, she's walking down. She comes up to me, and she's like, drop your bag. And I'm talking to these guys, and I didn't quite hear her because we were in a conversation. They shut up, and that lady fucking yelled at me. She said, drop your fucking bag. I dropped my bag, and I said, yes, sir. And boy, oh boy, she said, what is your fucking name, kid? And I told her, and she's like, to the front of the line with you. And those guys, everybody looked like owls. That's how big their eyes were open. And I shit you not, this lady took me up to the front of the fucking line, gave me a red folder, when everybody else had like cream folders, and said, you seem like you're going to be a problem here, and we're going to straighten you out. So here's your folder, and every time I see that red folder, because you went station to station, like you had to go get your physical, you had to go get checked like make sure there's nothing wrong with you, that you didn't have cancer and shit like that. You had to give up your blood type, all that shit. Every time I see that red folder and you're not doing what you're supposed to do, you're going to do push-ups. And she's like, this is the start of it. For calling me sir, 10 push-ups. I said, you gotta be kidding me. She's like, now do 20 push-ups. And I was like, 1, 2, 3, 20 push-ups. Boy, I was like, fuck. And she's like, I'll be waiting for you at every station you go. And that day alone, I did about 65 push-ups. And my arms felt like fucking jello, you know? And from that moment on, the next day, I did my frog jump. If you don't know what a frog jump is, go look at it. And I walked out that door, and she looked at me, gave me this grin, and said, have you learned your lesson yet? And I said, yes, ma'am. And she gave me a cream folder. And that's when I knew what was formerly known as RowCall's life was over. And that was the last time I mouthed off. That was the last time. Uh, Jesus, in New Zealand, the army would say 20 spaces per intake. Anyone who doesn't make it into those 20 spaces get kicked. Yeah. Dude, I'll never fall for the shit where they tell you to stand right here and they give you that little picture on the floor. Boy, that's an eye-opening too. We did that with a copper sheet on the side, bags inflated. To cut the beam is my guess. Dude, it was an eye-opening experience, dude. Eye-opening experience. And I had somebody ask me one day, would you do it again? And I asked them, let me throw this into the bunch. If I knew what I knew now, would I do it then? And they said, fine. I said, no. Nah, I wouldn't. No fucking way. Not in a million fucking years would I do it. No. Dude, I guarded poppy fields. Folks, do you know what poppy? If you don't know what poppies are, go look at what poppies were. Poppy is Afghanistan's main export product. And that's what they do. Weren't allowed to do it. Weren't allowed to burn the fields down to the ground or nothing. All they did was farm their poppies, man. I could tell you 1,000 stories about it, man. 1,000 fucking stories about it. But we don't have time tonight because we've been here forever. But I appreciate each and every one of you guys coming here. I appreciate the people that threw super chats in there. YouTube will give me 50 cents back on your guys's, dollar super chats. I think I'll get like 3 cents per dollar super chat from YouTube. But I do greatly appreciate it. Every fucking penny counts, especially nowadays. And maybe next Wednesday we'll go live again. I used to have a show Wednesday nights, 9 o'clock, 10-ish, because again, my internet's not great. And we'll chat again. And maybe I'll tell you another story. And then, again, don't be like these assholes here tonight. Be cordial. And like always, guys, we'll catch you on the next one. About to get some poppies to make some. Yeah, that's what they were doing. That's what they were doing. Go look up poppy fields and what poppies use for it. And tell me why there's a drug problem in the United States.